what happened there. Just ended up getting disconnected from the stream, so we're gonna have to try that again. No idea what happened there. Yeah, that was strange. Oh well, it is what it is, I guess. Maybe that's what I get for trying to start my stream an hour early. I'm hoping it's not an issue with Awakening. Because I know like there's some things that you can't stream. Like I wanted to stream like the like Shadows over Mystara and Tower of Doom, like the old Capcom D&D arcade games. But they wouldn't let me do it, so it just said like it couldn't be shared. So I'm hoping that's not the same thing with Awakening. Let's try it again. And we'll see what happens. So for those of you that were here for the first part, the first time I tried this, this may look a little familiar. Also, I just want to say, Rollstats, I really do appreciate the kindness. I do what I can, but I'm not like a video producer by any stretch of the imagination. I just do what I can.
Most of the Horde scattered north from Denerim towards the coastlands. And there fractured into warring tribes.
So this is where it cut out last time. So hopefully we're good.
The region fell into chaos as the Darkspawn emerged from his lairs to terrorize the countryside. As the new Warden Commander of Ferelden, it is your responsibility to rebuild the Order and deal with the lingering threat. You have come to Amaranthi to join the rest of the Grey Wardens at Vigil's Keep, once home to Arl Rendenhau, but now property of the Order. The lack of a proper welcoming party as you grow close, however, indicates that something is amiss.
What's going on? Why are there no wardens here to greet us? Something is wrong. Quickly, Commander!
Wow, that person starts off dead. Does it have scenes that you can't record? I don't think so. I think it was just also, what's going on here? Why am I using my fist? Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think it was an issue with the cutscenes. Just sometimes I worry where like it's separate DLC stuff and licensing can be weird, and I ran into an issue with that once before. But I think this. Oh, my gold does carry over. Good. No, I think it was just an issue with like Twitch or the Xbox or something. I don't know. Like I said, it was kind of weird, like wonky trying to even get started. So there we go. But no, I think we're good to go now. Hopefully. That's why they call it Twitch. Okay, buddy, I think you got him.
It's you, the hero of Ferelden. Oh, thank the Maker.
And maybe that's also a punishment because I'm enjoying an adult beverage while I'm doing this stream. Alright, what's going on?
I don't know, they came out of nowhere. All I heard was screams and people dying. I got out as fast as I could and ran into these... You need to help them. You need to do something. I think there was a mage right behind me. He might have been a warden, I don't know. I'll see if I can't find some help. There has to be a patrol on the road.
We don't have a lot of time, Commander.
Alright, yeah, like I said, I have no idea what caused that, but I also had the dashboard open on my phone and then just closed everything out, so I don't know if that somehow has anything to do with it, but I don't know. Like I said, I think we're okay now. But yeah, so speaking of roll stats, I know we were already talking earlier today, but I've been thinking about the schedule, the stream schedule coming up.
Pardon me, Commander.
And,
I assumed proper introductions
I'll
would
let
be
her
taken
talk
care
first.
of at the keep. My name is Myri. I was a knight in the King's service until I was recruited a month ago, but I haven't taken my joining yet. The Seneschal sent me to bring you back. I was not expecting this. This isn't a blight. How could they be so organized? I don't understand. Other than an archdemon, you mean? Frightening thought. This is Vigil's keep, which once belonged to Arl Howe. Considering what he did to you and the rest of the Order, losing their lands is probably the least of his family's problems. Varel the Seneschal. He is the keep steward, I believe, working for the Wardens. Right, let's teach these evil bastards a lesson.
There you go. That's the spirit. So yeah, so I was sort of thinking about the stream schedule, and we are coming into October. So like originally my plan was to start the Pathfinder Kingmaker, and sort of play through that, but that's a really like long game. So I mean I totally plan on playing it. I just don't know if that's what I want to immediately go with or start with. So I was thinking, just earlier today, I purchased the Resident Evil like Raccoon City collection. It was on sales like 60% off, so it came with the remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3. And I've never actually played. I've never played Resident Evil 3 at all. Period. But I've barely played Resident Evil 2. Prior to today, the only experience I had with Resident Evil 2 was literally about 5 minutes playing it on the N64. And like I knew nothing about tank controls at the time, and I hate tank controls pretty much as it is. But I was sort of going through that, and I couldn't get past the first guy. Like I could not get past the first zombie back then, so I just never played it again. But the remakes have the modern control scheme, which I do like. And
Thank the Maker you came along when you did.
yeah, they've got the modern control scheme, which I do like. I played enough of 2 to sort of get used to the controls. So that'll be the Monday streams. At least until I get horribly stuck and can't figure out what I'm doing and rage quit. Which very well could happen. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing starting Monday. At least through October, but I'll probably try to finish RE2 at the very least, and then move on to Pathfinder Kingmaker. And this Friday... Why is she not following me? And this Friday, I'm going to get back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Which I found out is actually going to be getting a port on the Switch, which is pretty cool. So it's not the remake. It's not like the upcoming like PlayStation 5 remake or anything like that. They're just but for Nintendo owners, if they want to be able to play the original Knights of the Republic, then that's going to be good. And I've had people ask me, like, am I interested or in the remake, and I'm not. Like, it's cool that they're doing it, and it's going to be great for PlayStation owners, because they'll get a chance to actually try it out if they never got to play it before. But I'm not interested, because I think they're probably going to try to modernize the control system, meaning that it'll move away from like the real-time turn-based combat and probably more into like, you know, an action-oriented system. And I'm not overly interested in that, because I really like the turn-based system. So I just saw the very first Dragon Age is available on Game Pass. You should all, you should go. Well, it's the very first, right? You mean, so Origins is the first one. I just went through that. I just finished doing Origins and the DLC, and but it is on Game Pass. That is true. Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, they're all on there. The Mass Effect games are all on there too, and they're absolutely all worth going through. So, if you have Game Pass, I do recommend it. Oh, didn't like that. And again, Lock Emissary. Gonna take him out because he's gonna get real annoying real fast. Oh, saw Dragon Age. That might be the cover for Dragon Age 2. Just because, like, Dragon Age 2 didn't have a subtitle. There's a lot of stuff about 2 that was very rushed. It like 2 came out like a year after Origins. And not only did it come out a year after Origins, but it came out a year after Origins and had a whole new like game engine and everything. Like it was completely redone from the ground up.
We're running out of bandages here. There are supplies on the other side of the courtyard.
So that might be the one that you see. There's kind of a stylized 2 in the background, but it looks like it's sort of like there's a like a symbol or something sort of like around it. Oh, you guys are gonna be fine. But so the Wednesday streams, they're fully dedicated to the Dragon Age series until I go through everything. The only things that I probably won't be doing will be the story expansions for Inquisition, because I don't have those, and you have to pay for those separately. And since the 360 never got the DLC expansions, I was never able to. I was never able to buy them ahead of time. Yeah, it was. So yeah, we're actually pretty close to Dragon Age 2 though. So we're this expansion's about. I want to say it's about 16 hours. Might be like 16 to 20. And I try to do these streams in like for the Dragon Age ones because I'm going through the entire 3-game series, including DLC for like 2 out of 3. I want these to be like 4-hour streams. So this will probably take me through the month of October, and then by the time we get to November, like late October, early November, we should be in the Dragon Age 2, which it's gonna be a thing. We'll say that. I will warn, the quality of the system, like of the games, takes a dip when we get to Dragon Age 2, and then Inquisition's good. Like Inquisition's better.
Thank you.
But Origins really is the best one, at least in my opinion. So it kind of sucks that it's the first one because we're kind of getting that out of the way. And then, like, I've only played Dragon Age. So for Dragon Age Origins, I've played probably
The
well
keep
over
has
a
been
dozen times.
overwhelmed. How did the Wardens not sense the Darkspawn coming? I don't understand it. Not many. A dozen, perhaps? There are other soldiers who came with them, however. For the Darkspawn to have ambushed the keep so effectively, I didn't know they were capable of such a thing.
Yeah, so I played through Origins like at least a dozen times, all the way through from start to finish. Honestly, probably more than that, because there was a period of time where I would just, like, as soon as I finished it, like a week later, I'd start up a new playthrough. And Awakening, I've probably gone through about 3 or 4 times, all the way through. For Dragon Age 2, I've only played the game from beginning to end twice. I've tried playing from beginning to end quite a few times, but I've never actually continued, like, seeing it through all the way from start to finish, well, with the exception of the 2 times. The very first time that I played it, and the second time where I tried to, make some different choices, and anyway. So yeah, so two's not great. I'm not gonna lie, but Inquisition's pretty good. I've never actually finished Inquisition, but there's a lot to do in it, and it just reached a point where I ended up moving, and there was other stuff that sort of came up. So by the time I was gonna get back to finish it off, because I was pretty close to the end. Like I was probably on like the second to last like main quest mission, but by then I just forgot everything that I was doing, and I never got back to it. So. Tried playing Inquisition a couple of times, kept bouncing. Yeah, it's so it's like Origins, and even 2, to its credit, has like a much more kind of linear story. So it's easier to get hooked into it. With Inquisition, I mean there is some linearity to it, but it takes a while to get into it. I will say, like it took me probably a good 10-15 hours before I was really hooked and really starting to get into it. Like, it's one of those things, when you get to like the higher levels and can start doing some really cool stuff, then it becomes a bit more enjoyable. Like when I was going around killing all the high dragons, like that was a blast. But it did take a little while to get there.
Yes, Commander. I'll try.
Oh, she disapproves. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like 2 and Inquisition, I do have the strategy guides for those, so I will probably be referencing them, especially with Inquisition, because there's just so much to do. Like the missions are, I'm not saying the missions are long, but there's just a ton of them. Sword Talent having trouble with the app. I mean, I obviously you saw I had trouble with the service earlier too. So
Possible.
and I got to be honest, it's really the first time I've had any actual issues with Twitch, so I can't say too much. Oh, there is something that I need to be doing here, isn't there? Oh, here we go.
I didn't do it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not broken up about them dying, to be perfectly honest. Biff there made the funniest gurgle when he went down.
Alright, so we are about to meet... Well, this is Dragon Age Awakening's Alistair. Right, he's kind of like, he fills that role. This is Anders. This is Anders the Mage. And he is my favorite party member in Awakening. And Dragon Age 2 completely ruins him, but we'll get there. I know I'm really not hyping up my Dragon Age 2 playthrough. I guess I should stop doing that. It's kind of self-sabotaging, isn't it?
Oh, I know. Most people enjoy being kicked in the head to be woken up each morning. Me, I'm just so picky. I am Anders, at your service, mage and wanted apostate.
An apostate? At Vigil's Keep?
You weren't here when we arrived. I'm sure I would have remembered such a lovely woman as yourself. We were just stopping here on our way back to the tower. Just a short rest, they said, and now they're dead. Such a shame. Then you and I will get along just fine, I think. Look, I suppose I could help you with the rest of these Darkspawn, or you could just let me go. They'll send more Templars to find me eventually. They always do. Then you have it.
Are you sure about this, Commander?
I can't say I'm fond of these Darkspawn, even though I'm no Grey Warden. Let's deal with them now, and we can discuss what comes later. Later.
So, in the Witch Hunt DLC, the mage character that we had with us, he had mentioned that the Circle mages used to get, like, outside time out of the tower, like, basically, like, yard time. And that all disappeared when one of the mages basically, like, jumped off of the boat that was taking them from the tower to the shore. And that basically, like, just ended their outside time. That person was Anders, so he was the one that kept trying to escape and cost the mages of the Circle their ability to go outside. So we're telling gotta reboot the. Oh no, do what you gotta do, man. I understand. Okay, but I still think I'm. So I have played Awakening a few times, but to be fair, the most recent time was probably... Oh god. I think I just moved to the South Shore. So that is probably about 7 years ago, I think was the last time I actually played this, so... my memories of what to do in this one are nowhere near as good as Origins. So I know the stream isn't about this, and I don't want to derail. No, that's fine. But I haven't had a chance to talk to you about the D&D 5. Right, so the D&D 5.5. Okay, I think there's a moment coming up here with a little bit of like a cutscene dialogue sort of situation, so I don't want to get too... I guess we're good for now. Yeah, so the next iteration, they haven't named it, but they say like the next version of the D&D game is going to release in 2024. 2024 will be the 50th birthday, I guess, or 50th anniversary of just the D&D role-playing game coming out, right? So, Zero Edition started in 74, 2024 will be 50 years after that. It's also going to be a decade after 5th Edition launch, so I'm all for it. I'm actually kind of excited about it. I mean, we've sort of had conversations about how we feel, or at least I feel, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I certainly feel that 5th Edition, it was great for the time. Like, it was definitely the version of the game that they probably needed to release when they did. But... Oh, I'm just back out here now. But it's kind of gotten a little stale. Right, they haven't really done much to progress the game in terms of, like, options and abilities and, you know, like, there's been... Okay, I went the wrong way. There's been a couple of books. In fact, in January, they are releasing a 3-book collection of, like, the rules expansion books. And one of those 3 books is going to be brand new to that set. So they really haven't done much to expand the game, and it's like it's just feeling a little a little stale, right? It's a very basic version of the game to get into, and I think that's great. It definitely makes for an excellent.
Come over here.
Oh, I want to just play it. This is awesome.
It'll take more than that to kill us, beasties. Come again if you dare.
So yeah, like I said, I think that 5th edition has just kind of gotten to be a little stale, and it'll be nice to have something new. And 10 years is a decent run. Like, when I first did like my wish list of things that I wanted to see in 5th edition, one of the things that I wanted was for it to stick around for at least a decade, right? And it has. It will have by then. So I think it's gonna be fine. Like, you know, as far as calling it 5.5, I don't think that's the name that they're going to give it. They'll either give it a subtitle or, you know, I mean, I was kind of thinking they were going to call it 6th edition or 6E. They might not. But it's supposed to be fully backwards compatible with 5th edition, so I think what's going to happen is that it's going to be like a 3 to 3.5 situation, or like 1st to 2nd edition AD&D, where the system is very similar. It's just, you know, there's differences in like the way classes are structured, or, you know, like how they do certain like spell casting stuff. Like, there will be differences, but I think overall it's not going to be very drastic. I would love to see them add a little complexity to the 5th edition formula, because that'd be really nice to see. Loving 3.5. Yeah, I really am, you know, loving 3.5 myself more than I thought I would. Let's say, oh yeah, no, 5.5 is definitely like the speculative name, for sure. Oh, I don't know if it's going to be. I mean, like I said, it'll be backwards compatible, but like I said, I think it'll be backwards compatible the same way that 3.5 was backwards compatible with 3rd, in that it is technically, like, you can technically, you know, use 3.0 books in 3.5. But I think there's going to be some conversion, and I don't think there's any getting around that. Which is another reason why I think people are calling it like 5.5. But yeah, I like I said, it's going to be a different game. Maybe not like super different, but I think it's going to be different enough that it'll. I think the changes will be good ones. I'm also almost 100% sure that they'll do a public playtest with that as well. So that's something that I also kind of hope to follow. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I guess another comparison, although it's not as common a comparison because not as many people are familiar with it, but I think it's going to be similar to. It could also be similar to like 4th edition going into D&D Essentials, where everything was fully compatible, but the classes the classes for Essentials were And I've seen people sort of speculate, like there's talk of having. If I can be completely and totally blunt, I think what they're going to end up doing is taking some cues from Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Get yourselves to safety.
Thank the Maker.
You know, you promised to run a 4E game at some point and actually look forward to. Well, yeah, your weekends are going to be so booked. Yeah, no, I would love to run 4th Edition, and like, no, I will warn you, Mr. Roll Stats, that the numbers in 4th Edition get pretty high as well, and they get higher than what they do in 5th Edition, obviously. So, you know, expect there to be some of that, but, yeah, no, I still... Oops, hold on. Cutscene. It's Oghren! Hey, Oghren. Yeah, so it's a very, like, number crunchy version of the game, 4th Edition is, but there are things that they did in 4th that they kind of watered down in 5th, and I like the way they did it in 4th better. One of the biggest examples that I always come back to, I think Augur's going to talk to us here in a second, so bear with me.
Aha! There you are! When these Darkspawn showed up, I thought, just you wait until the new commander gets here and you'll all be spitting teeth out of your arses. Followed the screaming, and sure enough, here you are. Good on ya!
Yeah, so, like, the big thing that 4th did was they got rid of spell levels, just altogether. So the level of the spell is the level your character is when you get access to it. So, for example, Fireball is a 5th level wizard ability instead of being a 3rd level wizard spell that they get at 5th level, because that's when they learn their 3rd level spells. So, like, I like that because it just takes out some of the confusing terminology. So yeah, I mean, I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it more than 5th. I think. What I would suggest is, like, maybe not look at it as a D&D game, because I hate that comparison, or when people say that. But if you just look at it as, like, just a fantasy role-playing system, people tend to be a little bit more open-minded if that's all you sort of, like, describe it as. Because when you say it's, D&D, there are, like, spell expectations and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I think you'll have a good time. You saw the Essentials books on eBay? So the Essentials books are actually really good. Like, I really like them. And yeah, they're soft cover. They're basically like the pocket edition books that Pathfinder has. And the one thing about them is that the player's handbook, so to speak, was split into 2 books. So you had the Heroes of the Fallen Lands, and that was like your D&D basic, like it had your humans, elves, halflings, and dwarves, and then your like fighter, cleric, mage, and rogue. And then you had the Heroes of the Forgotten Kingdoms, which had like the druid and what was it? It was like druid, ranger, paladin, and bard. Was it bard? I forget what the 4th class was in that. But they basically they split that into 2 different books that were released a couple months apart. And like for the price, like honestly, the two paperbacks were cheaper than the one hardcover player's handbook. So, but that is one thing to keep in mind, is that they split the player's handbook basically into 2. So there is some overlap in some of the information that's in both books, because they released them with the idea that you didn't have to have all of them. So you could still have all the rules descriptions you needed, even if you only bought one or the other, which I kind of like.
Doubting your eyes, huh? I get like that after the 5th bottle or so. Came here thinking I might
Well,
try
Logren.
my hand at becoming a bona fide Grey Warden.
He was
Sword
here when
Town,
I
curious
left
what they're cooking up
before
for
lethal
2020.
orders
So,
took him out.
actually, roll
if it
stats, you might
isn't
like
the
this too.
recruit with the
2022
great rack.
is supposed to
Yes,
have
a prize for the
two
wardens, to be sure.
fan favorite,
I
like
know.
old
Too good to be
school
true,
campaign
right?
settings getting released.
Hey, who's the maid?
I don't know which ones are going to be. They haven't
Wow,
like
a
released
dwarf
any of that
smells like a
information yet.
brewery. You never see that anywhere.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be. I think Planescape's going to be one of them.
Thought those normally died young.
But the second one, I mean, it could be Dragonlance, right? You know, here's hoping. We have Fizzban. Maybe they'll do Dragonlance. But there's also going to be a third campaign setting coming out in 2023, which is also going to be like a classic one. So I think we're going to be getting. So I think there's a very good chance that we could see like Greyhawk and Dragonlance both come out, which I think would be great. As far as other stuff, I really don't know. I think 2022 will be like a normal release year, and once we start getting into the playtest era for the next version of the game, they might scale back a little bit, but I think they'll still be releasing some stuff. The 4th edition, yeah, 4th edition is very crunchy. So is 3rd edition, though. So those are like they're very crunchy systems. I got a copy of Holmes. Oh, the Holmes rulebook. That is awesome. So the Holmes Basic, I've never seen in person ever anywhere. Like, and I don't know anyone like of all my friends who have played, like some of them have played D&D since 0 edition. None of them had the Holmes Basic. They had the Moldvay Cook Basic Expert, or they had first edition AD&D. So that is the Holmes Basic is absolutely, it's like one of the last holy grail items that I can think of.
I find that hard to believe.
As do I.
Now, let's go introduce some darkspawn arses to my foot. Only polite.
Yeah, that's right. You do want it, don't you, Rollstat? That's, oh man, that's so cool. I'm kind of envious of that. I'm not gonna lie. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if, see, like, so living in Nova, as I talked about with the Goodman, like old essential stuff, it can be really to get some of the stuff into Nova Scotia. So I'm thinking that might be this similar sort of situation, where I just don't think the Holmes Basic ever made it this far. I also don't think it was produced for very long. Like, it wasn't... I could be wrong. Like, I could be 100% wrong, and it certainly wouldn't be the first time. But I want to say that the Holmes Basic was never intended to be, like, its own standalone system. Like, from what I've read, and again, that could be wrong, right? So definitely let me know if I am. But from what I understand, it was sort of meant as a transition product to get you from 0 into AD&D. But it cleaned up 0 edition so that it was a little bit more, well, to be blunt, that it was easier to follow and make sense of. And then when the Moldvay Cook version came out, it was sort of like to sort of redesign that version. Redesign the Holmes version, but the Moldvay Cook was intended to be its own separate product line. That's my understanding anyway. So like I said, definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because it sure as hell wouldn't be the first time. Especially when it comes to D&D Basic. Basic Expert. There's so much to its background, to its origin, that it's really difficult to keep straight. Like, very difficult to keep straight. was out for about a year. Okay, yeah, that's like I said, that's what I thought. And I want to say there was also some um, issues with the way that Gygax reacted or received the Holmes version.
Myri?
Roland!
I don't think he
Commander,
particularly cared for it.
Roland was
I
recruited
don't know.
from
Like I said,
Venerum
it's been a while since I
You must do
researched it,
something
but
for
that's
him.
just what I
looks
remember
beyond
from
magic.
when I was looking it up.
Maybe a shot of whiskey for the pain?
I like the way you think.
Stop joking! This isn't funny.
The commander?
It was supplanted by the Moldvay set very quickly. Holmes' set was simply okay. Okay, well, I guess so. I was sort of right. Maybe it was just someone that commented something about Gygax's reception to it. I honestly can't remember, but yeah, I do remember it was meant to clean up Basic Expert, and then the Moldvay version was meant to be the beginning of a new product line, one to go alongside of AD&D.
We only had a moment's warning before they were on us, Commander. The Seneschal ordered a counterattack, but they came out of nowhere. There's one with them. A Darkspawn who talks. His magic is powerful.
A talking darkspawn? The lad must be delirious.
There's something in my blood. It hurts.
All right, yeah. So he is infected by the Darkspawn blood, and if we leave him, he's gonna turn into a ghoul. So we're gonna put him down.
It's okay, Myri. I'm not getting better. It was an honor to meet you, Commander. I wish I could have fought at your side. Just once.
I will avenge you, Roland. I swear it.
I wish we could have seen the companion and master rule set from Moldvay. His D&D from your perspective, brilliant writing, even better editing, it's tight, concise. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't argue. It would have been interesting. I mean, I think so. I want to say that the companion rules probably would have been very similar. And a friend of mine believed that, like, again, this is just speculation, but he was under the impression that the companion rules were largely done. They were just never published, and they were like reworked by Menser when the time came for the Beckme version. Like, I mean, the history of Basic Expert is interesting, but it's confusing. Because, like, with AD&D, or someone says, like, first edition, AD&D, like, that's all it was. It was just first edition. When someone's like, oh, we should play D&D Basic, it's like, okay, well, which one, right? Because there were three different ones, and they all sort of had their own twist. But I will say, like, as we sort of, like, I did a video where I sort of speculated on the new D&D edition. I would love for them to call it Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I would love to see the AD&D band resurrected.
Finished.
And then that way, like, you could have the more simplistic, like, just the Dungeons and Dragons, because, like, Basic Expert was never really like, it was called Dungeons and Dragons, and then the subtitles were like the basic set or expert set. So, but I think it'd be really cool to see like the more simplistic 5th edition continue to go, and then just have like advanced Dungeons and Dragons as well. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to see those two. It would be nostalgic for me because I started with AD&D.
It has ended, just as he foretold. Be taking this one gently. We are wishing no more death than is necessary.
Necessary? As if your kind has ever done anything else.
You are thinking you know of our kind, human? It is understandable, but that will soon be changed.
Others will come, creature. They will stop you.
There it is.
It seems your words be true. More than you are guessing.
It is talking. Well, let's shut it up already.
Commander.
Capture the Grey Warden. These others, they may be killed.
Alright, so there's the talking Darkspawn. The Withered. This guy's tough. Good job. All right.
Commander, I owe you my life. Soldiers on the road. It seems we have more company. Hopefully they're more hospitable than our previous guests.
I will say, Rose, I completely agree that Dave Arneson does not get enough credit. There's Alistair.
It looks like I've arrived a bit late. Too bad. I rather missed the whole Darkspawn killing thing.
King Alistair.
I'd wanted to come and give the Wardens a formal welcome. I certainly wasn't expecting this. What's the situation?
What Darkspawn remained have fled, Your Majesty. The Grey Wardens who had arrived from Orlais appear to be either dead or missing.
Missing? As in taken by the Darkspawn? Do they even do that?
I do not know, Your Majesty.
Well,
I know
they do now.
only that we cannot account for all the Wardens.
I see. At least the hero of Ferelden is still here and alive. That's something, right? Toss the throne aside. Spend my time adventuring at your side, just like old times. Very tempting. You have quite the task ahead of you. Really, I'd like to help you fight Darkspawn, but you're on your own for the moment.
Hey, what am I? Chopped nug livers?
From the smell, that's not a bad guess.
I came here to join the Grey Wardens, and from the looks of it, you could use the extra hands. Now where's the giant cup? I'll gargle and spit.
So elegant.
That's what I always say.
I suppose all are welcome in this dire time.
Joining the Wardens, eh? Well, good luck with that.
King Alistair, Your Majesty beware, this man is a dangerous criminal.
Oh, the dwarf is a bit of an arse, but I wouldn't go that.
She means me.
This is an apostate who we're in the process of bringing back to the Circle to face justice.
Oh, please. The things you people know about justice would fit into a thimble. I'll just escape again, anyhow.
Never. I will see you hanged for what you've done here, murderer.
Murderer? But those Templars were... Oh, what's the use? You won't believe me anyhow.
It seems there isn't much to say. Unless you have something to add, Commander.
So I don't know what I've never gone through any of the other two options. Like, so I always say that I conscript him into the Grey Wardens because I like Anders. I've never chose the other two options. And I'm not going to today because I definitely want him in the party. But I feel like it's one of those things where he's probably going to join no matter what.
What? Never.
I believe the Grey Wardens still retain the right of conscription, no? I will allow it.
If Your Majesty feels it is best.
Ha! Way to go, kid. Welcome aboard.
Me? A Grey Warden? I guess that will work.
Congratulations, Sir Mage. I look forward to fighting at your side.
Then if you have everything
Yeah,
under
about
control,
that.
I will need to take my leave.
I believe the estate has been secured, yes. We have suffered great losses, but the Darkspawn are gone, and there are survivors. Oh, excuse my manners. I am Veril, Seneschal of Vigil's Keep, and I am most grateful for your timely rescue, Commander. I will aid you in ruling the lands of Amaranthine. But as Commander of the Grey, you are the equivalent of our Arl as well. Come and speak to me soon. There are many matters to attend to, not the least of which is the joining. You will need to replenish your numbers.
The security of Ferelden relies on the Grey Wardens now, even weakened as the Order is. It will be up to you to deal with the vestiges of the Blight before the situation grows out of control. No easy task, but I'm confident you are up to it. Good luck, Commander. May the Maker watch over you.
Bye, Alistair. Thanks for the cameo.
Before we do anything else, Commander, there's an urgent matter we must take care of. Right now, I know of only one living warden assigned to all of Ferelden. That should be rectified. The others could aid
That's
you
right.
considerably.
Well, 3 of them will, or 2 of them will. I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
As you wish, Commander. The time has come for us to begin the joining. I shall speak the words that have been said since the first. Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand, vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you. From this moment forth, Oghren, you are a Grey Warden.
What's this, the sampler size? Are you trying to say something about my height? Huh?
This is the goblet we've always used.
Really? Yeah. Not bad.
Maker help us all.
Yeah, Ogren's
From
like
this
that.
moment forth, Anders, you are a Grey Warden.
So we need to drink Darkspawn blood? That's it?
That is it, yes.
Well, all right. But if I wake up 2 weeks from now on a ship bound for Rivain in nothing but my small clothes and a tattoo on my forehead, I'm blaming you.
He lives, Commander, and will awaken in time. From this moment forth, Myri, you are a Grey Warden.
I have awaited this moment.
Have you?
I'm sorry, Myri. May the Maker watch over you now. Poor Myri.
Okay, yeah, that is how I remembered it.
The commander must be informed about the Deep Roads entrance. It could be their base of operation.
You'd have the Wardens chase a rumor then, Captain. And even if it proves true, unless the Pilgrim's path is cleared by the time your army assembles, they'll have nothing to eat but shoe leather.
Garavel, Woolsey, the commander has had a long day.
Woolsey says some merchants escaped the Darkspawn. They can reprovision you for a reasonable fee. And the Vigil is yours. Take whatever weapons and armor you need. We'll be waiting when you're ready.
Oh, okay, yeah, so I think these guys are just advisors. Okay. So, in Awakening, there are going to be situations where I will be doing... Like, I'll have to make some decisions about how to deploy troops or some other things like that. So, that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Also, a few collectibles here. Sword Talon. Super psyched about the white box. Roll stats, another bucket list item every once in a while. Yeah, I've seen stuff go for like ridiculous amounts of money too. As much as I would love to have it, I like I've said before, I have a very strict rule where I will not spend more than $100 on anything in my RPG collection. So, and I've never broken that. Like I've never actually purchased anything that cost me more than $100, taxes in. And it's just like, that's a rule that I'm just going to stick to. So stuff like that, unfortunately, I'll probably never own. I'm hoping for DM's Guild to have it print on demand. It is also cool, Sword Talon, that, yeah, that your daughter's into RPGs, and from what I've seen, you've gotten her some really cool stuff, like the Blackmoor supplements, some of the other RPG books. Like, that's just awesome, man. I had a nephew show interest in D&D, but he kind of got away from it, and my daughter was interested for a while, but she's getting older and into her own stuff now, so unfortunately I don't really have anyone to pass it on to at this point in time either.
To business, then. Orlais sent a dozen wardens to the Vigil to await your arrival. Nearly all died in the attack, but Kristoff is still in the field. The Orlesian wardens were uneasy that the Darkspawn weren't going to ground with the Blight ended. Kristoff was sent to track down some leads. A fortnight ago, he left in a bustle. As best we figure, he went to the city, Amaranthine.
Taught her with the BX system, nice. And then she played 4th, and now plays 5th. No, that's awesome. Like, that's really great.
You did, but not to me. The wardens keep their own counsel. Only so many places travelers visit. I check the inns and taverns. That's the only thing that needs immediate attention. Do you want something else, Commander?
No, we're good there.
Warden Commander, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Mistress Wolsey, sent by order of the First Warden at Whiteheart. I'm to act as treasurer of the Arling of Amaranthine. He believed local men could not be trusted for this post.
One of those local men is right here, Mistress Wolsey.
I have every confidence in the Vigil's loyalty in the matter of arms. But gold corrupts even the most resolute soul. Sir, the Arling is on the brink of economic collapse. Trade must flow. Merchant caravans are being systematically attacked somewhere along the Pilgrim's Path. It is the only route that can reliably provision an army, feed a city, and maintain civilization. In the city of Amaranthine, there is a trader, Mervis, whose caravan...
It's also a bit of a headbanger. Nice.
He may know where along the road...
So my daughter listens to a bunch of stuff, although there are some bands that... There are some songs that I like that she listens to. She really likes the song Rose for Epona by Illuvite, and that's awesome because they're a great band. But I never, like, that was her own decisions. Like, I never I don't force on anyone. Like I don't tell anyone what they should listen to, what they shouldn't listen to. It's just like, this is what I like, and she develops an interest in it, then that's fine. But it is her choice, and that's the important thing.
Very well, Commander.
Commander?
This is Sir Garavel, the new captain of the guard.
I have a matter to bring to your attention.
Oh, do you?
Potentially urgent. The Orlesians, wardens, I mean, began gathering information while they were here. The most promising lead they found was a wild tale a couple of hunters told. These hunters, Colbert and, well, the other one, claim to have stumbled across an entrance to the deep roads. Darkspawn all over the place, they said. And this was before the fiends appeared throughout the whole Arling. The wardens were just about to send someone to track down Colbert. Colbert and his friend are in the city of Amaranthine, probably amongst the refugees outside the city gate. Commander.
Roll stats. My daughter listens to the top 40 pop schlock. I don't know where it went wrong. Well, I mean, you can lead them to water, right? But you can't make them drink. I mean, yeah. So I mean, my daughter will listen to top 40 like pop songs, and then also some Celtic folk metal. So it's interesting. Kind of also want to see. Well, no, that's just, I shouldn't say that, but it would be interesting if she also developed a taste for Ailstorm. And if you've never heard of Ailstorm, if you've never heard of pirate metal, it is definitely worth checking out. What do I think of Tool? So I've never actually listened to Tool's newest album. I don't download music. Like, I don't like digital. Like, I'm just not. I don't have Spotify, or, well, I don't have iTunes because I don't have Apple products. But so I've never actually listened to it. The physical album, like, originally the price in Canada was over $100. They did release a different version, but it's still around 40 or 50. It's a little bit outside of what I'm comfortable paying. So I don't know. I unfortunately I just haven't heard it. But 10,000 Days was the last one that I have of theirs, and that one was really great. That said, like, my personal favorite overall album of theirs still has to be Anima. 46 and 2 is my all-time favorite Tool song. But Vicarious from 10,000 Days, that's a pretty close second. Holy crap, I got a lot of stuff here. Okay, I think... Oh, Blightblood's still pretty good. Alright, let's load myself out here with the gear that I want. Zalmax, currently learning bass guitar. Oh, that's awesome. I've always wanted to learn guitar, but as a lefty, I don't know anyone left-handed to teach me. And like the guitar, I do have a guitar, but the pickguard is it's designed for a right-handed person, right? Like, because I want to strum with my left hand, and like use my right hand for the what are you called for the strings. At least I think that's how I want to hold it. Anyway, the guitar that I have, the pickguard's on the side that it wouldn't work for me the way I want to hold it. So what I need to do is get it like restrung, the other way around. But I don't know. I'm also kind of getting to the point where I think I'm just too old to really dedicate myself to that. But that is awesome that you're doing it though, man. That's like so cool. Absolutely respect anyone that can go through and learn stuff like that. Yeah, I think I still want that weapon. Actually, I'm not going to do personal storage because I think there's going to be merchants out here I can deal with.
Yes.
I'm 30. Well, okay, I'm 38 too, so I guess there's that.
A while back, they caught a thief in the vigil. Took 4 wardens to capture him.
Jimmy, yeah, well, that's that's a pretty lofty ambition, but yeah, no, he was amazing, but I don't know. I'm also like super useless with my right hand, so I don't know anything involving ambidexterity probably just isn't for me.
He's in the dungeon, sir. I also have some letters. Arrived just before you did. Just give me a moment.
Okay, yeah, so the letters that she gives us are basically like the side quests. So we've got a daughter ransomed. And we'll just select them both, which means we'll take on the quest. We also have a prisoner that we have to deal with in the dungeon. She's got something over her head. They've got something over their head.
What's it like?
To have all this power at my fingertips.
No, to always have to wear a skirt.
Oh, you don't know the story behind the robes. You know how strict things are in a circle, right? Well, of course you do. Well, the robes make quick trysts in the corner easy. No laces or buttons. You're done before the Templars catch on.
Really?
Just ask anyone.
Yeah. Oh, Anders.
Commander, so this is human construction, is it? My brother said you'd need a stonemason, but he didn't know the half of it. Aye, I'm surprised half the buildings in Ferelden haven't fallen over from a stiff breeze. The Darkspawn did a number on this keep.
Yeah, human architecture is garbage.
But I suspect it was crumbling well before they showed up. Your seneschal gave me some fancy decree promising men and monies to fix the vigil, but it's a paltry sum. I suppose it would be sufficient to reconstruct the walls to human standards, but who'd want that? I'm not certain of the character of the stone in these parts, but we'd need more men for certain. Proper skilled men, not some starving dusters, right? Which all boils down to coin, really.
How much? 80 sovereigns.
It will be, Warden. Good luck to anyone who tries to breach
that.
these walls. Ah!
Okay, so this is an ongoing quest with this guy. So throughout the game, there will be certain things we can find to help, like, improve the walls, and you'll actually get to see like the differences once you've sort of gone through everything. I think that was the only coin-based one, and I think the other stuff is essentially materials. But for armory, we have.
This way. It's cold here, very cold.
It's not that cold. The wardens have been some of our best customers, and they need us.
I miss my shop. This place is so drab. It offends my sensibilities.
I trust they preserve
We have Master Wade.
To come to this dreadful turnip keep. Oh, the indignity.
So I don't think I've ever. The armors have like a quest line where you can. I think you can forge like certain blueprints of armors. You have to give them materials to do it. I don't think I've ever actually completed
Warden
it.
Commander, I represent Master Wade, the finest
and bloody coldest. I can't feel my fingers.
finest armorer in Denerim. We thought that you might have need of an armorer.
Really? Last time you kicked me out of your shop and told me never to come back.
My one glittering moment. The highlight of my career. And now I'm stuck at Turnip Keep.
Vigil's Keep. Vigil! Sorry, Warden Commander. You know how he gets. This is a temporary relocation. The Darkspawn are most active around Amaranthine. We thought we could help.
And I suppose the money
Oh
the
yeah,
Crown paid
it's
us
these
has
two
nothing to
again.
do with it? Shh.
I love these guys. Master Wade and Haren.
Oh, of course.
Alright, so for sure we can sell off these things. I'm gonna keep a bow just in case. Actually, I think I'd keep the... what's the... So 9.6, 12, okay. Yeah, so that's just all around better. These arrows, bolts, I've never used them and I'm not going to. The shields, don't use. Ooh, Sorrows of Arlathan. Oh, and the Dragonbone Cleaver. I need to get that over to Oghren. Okay, so we sold that stuff off. I don't think I need any of... Yeah, I don't think I'd need any of those. So we'll just sell... Trickster's Tunic? What does that do? I'll keep that one just in case. As well as the Battle Dress of the Provocateur. Okay, yeah, so the armory has the manual that lets me reassign all of my attributes and stuff. I don't think I'm going to need that now, but at least I know where to get it from. Okay, and you can actually modify people's shields, but nobody in my party uses shields. I'll keep that stuff, I guess, for now. Oh yeah, no, it is really cool that they keep. So this uses the same character and save file from Origins, so it basically, like, all the major decisions I made there, like, it carries over. And that should also apply to when going from Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age 2. Like, it'll actually, you can import your save file for the choices that you made.
Providing arms and armor for common soldiers. Oh, the indignity. If we are going
Unfortunately,
to be so
Inquisition didn't.
I don't suppose Amaranthine
There was a
has any
website you could
proper
go to. I don't even know if the website's still there, but there was a website you could go to.
Or are we back to bronze
And you could
weapons,
make the
stone
major
cloud?
choices yourself. Like, you
Wade
could just
has,
choose which ones.
A point. He's happiest
to do.
and fastest when presented with a challenge. If you come across any deposits of ore, let us know. Come back soon.
Oh, these guys got levels, so I should do that. Oh, these guys got the pseudo level up too from joining the Wardens. That's cool. I like that. Can you take another... Oh no, you're maxed out on that. We'll go Second Wind. And then Anders. We will go with Inferno. And then Anders, you... So Vestments of the Seer, yeah, plus 10 willpower, plus 7 magic, plus 10 armor, plus 10 spell resistance. You don't get the mana regeneration, which kind of sucks, but we'll take that anyway. And you should take the Stash of Forbidden Secrets. Alright, and Oghren. Yeah, the Dragonbone Cleaver is just much better. Alright, cool. And we'll just go back to these guys, sell off the other stuff. So I don't need you, and I don't need you, and I don't need you.
I emptied out my stores blasting those Darkspawn. Once we're done with repairs, we should talk.
Also, like how he sort of thrashes about like, that's the same animation that Ruck had, like when he was kind of a little bit insane, and, well, this guy's a pyromaniac, so he's a little bit insane too. Okay, is there anybody else? Ooh, a treasure chest.
I am done.
Oh, okay, another awesome part here. No, you are not the only one that misses Shale. Shale should be in all the games all the time. Okay, so the cat is a gift, a kitten, and you give that gift to Anders.
Oh, look at the cute little kitty. There was a mouser in the tower named Mr. Wiggums. Only company I had when the Templars locked me up. Miss that beast a lot sometimes. But I can't keep a cat. We fight Darkspawn for a living. I suppose. Well, I'll keep him just for a while, until I find somewhere safer. Is that okay with you, kitty? I'll call you Sir Pounce-a-Lot. You can stay in my pack. Just for a little while, yes?
Sir Pounce-a-Lot. Yeah, no, Shale was like the best character. I mean, I love Alistair, but I like Shale even more than Alistair, and it's kind of a shame that you never get Shale like throughout any of the DLC. Like Shale would have been perfect for that Golems DLC.
I don't mean to alarm you, Commander, but it's possible there are still Darkspawn in the Vigil.
Okay, my next character is Mr. Wiggums. Well, your dwarf came pretty close, so I guess have that next character concept in mind. I mean, you did get to see the true power of the 3.5 Bard, so it's a miracle you survived.
Let me explain. You know Dworkin? That mad dwarf's bombs shook the whole keep. Some of the deep cellars caved in. I suspect that there are pockets of Darkspawn below, trapped. In time, they may dig their way out. Straight away, sir. Here we are. The vigil goes deep. Real deep. The hallways down here have been crumbling for years and decades. And that blasted Dworkin's explosives didn't do the structure any favors.
Okay, well, you know, he helped.
You heard the commander. Put your backs into it. This is where you come in. Who knows what's up ahead. We'll be back here.
And actually, I have to say, the encounter with that Bard Rogue and the Crested Feldrake, like that fight got pretty intense.
To a flame. Women like it when men show affection for small, fuzzy, defenseless beings like you.
Yeah, stupid mage. Every time I pull something out of my robes, the women just flee.
Oh. This Barbari seems greatly distressed. Her fur is patchy and caked with dirt and blood. You pet the dog gently, calming her. You find a small scroll bound to her. A woman named Ardria writes that she has taken refuge in the lower levels of the keep. Okay. I thought we actually got the dog, but I guess we don't. Everyone in the game always has your back. Oh yeah, they're close knit. Yeah, I don't like the things that you're doing, so I'll put a stop to you right away. You know, I hate it when they get away. I will now spend the rest of the campaign tracking. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll see her again. Just like when we pick up the Rime of the Frostmaid adventure, I'm pretty sure you'll see that that Frost Beholder again. Kind of proud of that addition I made to the game now, considering that's had a pretty big impact. Ooh, a Shriek Alpha. Yeah, so the Frost Beholder, the Frost Beholder is not in the written adventure. It is something that I did because I have the Beholder mini set that came out during the 4E days, and 4th edition had a Beholder called like the Eye of Frost Beholder, and I just wanted to have like something for the players to do while they were sort of traveling from one spot to another. So I just decided to sort of convert the Beholder's stats from 4E to 5E, and it was a good fight too. Like I really liked the way that one went, and but it did get away. And nothing irks the player characters more than when a monster gets away. So I'm sure you'll see that one again too. I guess I probably shouldn't have opened that wound, should I have? Or picked that scab. Okay, so here we actually see ghouls for the first time in Dragon Age. So ghouls are humans that have... Oh, or they're just basically just living male creatures that have somehow interacted with Darkspawn blood. Now, the blood that you drink for the joining is magically treated. But this situation where they could have been basically like they had an open wound that Darkspawn blood got into, and it essentially like turns them into these almost like mindless savage creatures.
I am done.
Really old. I bet it was here before the current street was built.
As you say,
And whirlwind. So it's also kind of funny, like, because in a different 3.5 D&D campaign, I had another player that was playing a paladin, and I had a red dragon get away. Because, like, I mean, dragons should have escape pods, really. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, they're intelligent. They know that people are going to come to fight them. They should always have a way out. So this dragon managed to escape, and the player was so angry, like so angry, that like he basically swore an oath, like a blood oath, against that dragon. It was fantastic. Injury kit. Oh wait, should I read this? Oh, okay. So there are special keys that I need to find. This is another quest that you actually come back to, I believe, because like there are different depths that you basically uncover. So I want to say that you find the keys at later points. Oh no, there was a key there. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. Okay, no, it's Keyhole Korth. So what was the key that I got? Key of Kavil. Oh yeah, no, I agree 100%. Like, reoccurring villains are, in my opinion, I think they're great. Like, I love the idea of reoccurring villains. And, like, honestly, and I'm sure, like, Roll Stats will agree, is there's sort of, like, a sense of personal... I don't know the right way to say it. But there's, like, a personal investment. Right, because like you're always like, because this is someone that you've encountered, you know, you've almost defeated, he got away, or is just sort of continuously tormenting you.
Oh, thank the Maker! Please let us out.
So yeah, some of my favorite adventures have had, or campaigns or campaign arcs have had reoccurring villains. Vendetta, yeah, that's a good one. You get a personal vendetta.
Quick, before more of those things come.
Oh, I think that's
she
the
couldn't have
lady.
shown us the courtesy of waiting a bit longer before becoming a ghoul.
Well, we tried. So yeah, no, reoccurring villains are great, but the one thing that I will absolutely say is that you need to be fair about it, right? Like I would never cheese it to have a villain escape. But I would try to plan. I would try to plan for like for the villain to have an escape plan.
You hear the stories about you and the Wardens, but to see it firsthand.
Actually, one of my favorite. This was early on too. I think it was my first. No, maybe not my first, but it was a 3.0 game. I thought it was my first 3.5, but I don't think it was. I think it was one of my late 3.0 games. I had a character that I wanted to be this like reoccurring antagonist, we'll say. So like there was always like something he could do to be able to escape. Like he would have the clone spell prepared, like so he would have a clone of himself that if he died his essence could transfer into that. So I think that happened once. And then another instance, like the party thought they had him, but it was a simulacrum. So when they defeated him, it just like melted into a puddle of like, you know, slush and water. And then when they finally got him, it was a pretty satisfying moment.
Well, I'm impressed. Anyway, it looks like the explosives caved this section in. I brought along Master Voldrick.
So, this is how you humans ply your stonecraft. Disgraceful, that is. What, this would barely last a few centuries. I wager these passages may go far enough to connect to the deep roads. We've my brother's bombs. But no, there's too many passages to block. This is a grave matter. If we don't shut these tunnels, the Darkspawn can attack from below again.
Andraste's blood, there are basement entrances throughout the keep. There's no way to defend against that.
Then we follow the tunnels and hope to find a single point to block off. Never you fear, lass. With the Warden's muscle and my stonecraft, we'll find a way.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We'll need
So
some
yeah,
time.
you do come back
As
to
soon
this a
as we
few
clear
times.
We'll let you know. Of course.
Oh, right. Another thing that villain did to get away was they had a contingency spell on them. And I actually have to look into the 5th edition books because I can't remember if contingency is a 5e spell or not now. But contingency was great because essentially what it was a spell that you could cast and you could store like another effect on it that would trigger under specific conditions. So like mechanically you could have it teleport someone if their hit point total fell below a certain amount. So that was something else that he used to get away as well. He had a contingency spell on him so that if his hit points dropped below half, he would be teleported away.
This will help a great deal. Viridium.
Armor and weapons could be made with this.
Commander, if you like, we could outfit your men. It wouldn't cost you anything, but some soldiers would have to guard the miners.
So I'm to make armor for all Amaranthine's rabble? Heren, you abuse me so, it's unconscionable.
Commander's orders.
Fine, I'll work. But I want a challenge one day. Something to sink my teeth into.
Look at that! Was Andraste really that much of a looker? Don't you think she would have been, I don't know, a barbarian? Got me there. What would she have thought of the Circle of Magi? Forcing mages to fight demons, or be made tranquil?
Yeah, so the whole Rite of Tranquility, that plays pretty big into Anders' story arc in the next game.
Seems to me that Andraste counseled men to seek their own path to the Maker, but the Chantry uses her words as a reason to collar us just for being who we are. That's so sweet of you. I'm all a tingle. Oh well, she's still quite a looker for a prophet. I'm just saying.
It's pretty annoying. No, I love Anders. He's such a sarcastic character.
Ah, Commander. Good thing you're here. This one's been locked up 3 nights now. Good men died while this one was protected in his cell.
Well, that's not his fault.
He won't give his name. All I know is he was caught poking around the estate in the middle of the night. I'd say he was just a thief. But it took 4 Grey Wardens to capture him. You best be careful. Whoever he is, he's no
The
ordinary
statue's
burglar,
missing the
that's
giant
for sure.
billboard-sized commemorative plaque. Yeah, how are you supposed to know who commissioned it? I don't know. Obviously, Otto should travel to Ferelden and let everyone know how it's done. Although they may not appreciate him preaching another god.
As you wish, Commander. I'll tell the Seneschal you came. He'll want to know what you decide to do with this man.
Well, I need a rogue. Oh, no, I'm a rogue. Never mind, I don't really need him. But he's an archer, so...
If it isn't the great hero, conqueror of the Blight and vanquisher of all evil. Aren't you supposed to be 10 feet tall with lightning bolts shooting out of your eyes?
You know, I have to say, the giant billboard, like, eclipsing most of the statue that you had commissioned, that's honestly one of my favorite memories. Like, one of my favorite gaming memories in, like, the last while. It was just so perfectly Otto. It was great.
It does. I know you best as the one who murdered my father.
Oh, he deserved it.
Nathaniel Howe. My family owned these lands until you showed up. Do you even remember my father?
Yeah, I think I beheaded him if I recall correctly.
My father served the hero of Riverdane and fought against the Orlesians, yet our family lost everything. I came here. I thought I was going to try to kill you, to lay a trap for you. But then I realized I just wanted to reclaim some of my family's things. It's all I have left. Unfortunate? Yes, I guess it was unfortunate for everyone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that your
I know
father
you're a
turned to
hero.
torture and
You fought a war and you won, and to the victor
murder.
go the spoils, right? Whatever my father did, however, shouldn't harm my whole family. The Howes are pariahs now. Those of us left. It's all thanks to you. And now you get to decide my fate. Ha! Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm a nice person, so...
You're right. I'll go join King Alistair's service immediately. He'd be certain to give a Howe another chance. I'm not without skills. My time abroad wasn't spent chasing skirts and drinking wine. Hunting, scouting, poisons. Why? What do you care?
Well, it just so happens we have an opening.
If you let me go... I don't know. I only came back to Ferelden a month ago. If you let me go, I'll probably come back here. You might not catch me next time. The Darkspawn are a menace. If it weren't for the Blight, maybe my father would never have done what he did. But I can't do anything about them, can I? There's just you and the Grey Wardens here in my home.
Well, about that.
Already? Good.
I brought the Seneschal for you, Commander.
I see you've spoken to our guest. Quite the handful, isn't he? Have you decided what's to be done with him?
Oh yeah, we are going to do a whole bunch of joining rituals today.
You what?
I'm sorry, Commander. The right of conscription? On the prisoner?
Yeah, it's not unprecedented.
Absolutely not. Hang me first. I can't decide if this is a vote of confidence or punishment.
An
Alright, just
interesting
calm down,
decision, Commander. Come with me, sir. We'll see if you survive the joining. From this moment forth, Nathaniel Howe, you are a Grey Warden.
The moment of truth.
So Nathaniel starts off as a complete and total prick, but he does get better as time goes.
The Howe is stronger than I expected. For better or for worse, he will live.
Yay, new party member. Oh, what
I'm
she
here
got
to
for me now?
serve, Commander. I will do what can be done, but you would be wise to keep alert for trading possibilities in your journeys. If you can persuade any merchants to trade here, it would benefit the Vigil considerably.
Well, that's the plan.
Very well, Commander.
Okay, hold on. So what do you have for me?
Commander, the Lords of Amaranthine have come to swear fealty to you and the Grey Wardens. These were Al Rendon Howe's vassals. Now they will be yours.
Okay, yeah. So there's a couple of so this is one of those situations where we have to do some like social stuff.
Some of these lords bore Rendon no love, but others had their prospects ruined with his demise. Tread carefully, Commander. Lords and ladies,
You have to like hear grievances or decide how to divvy up your resources.
Commander.
Ban Esmerel of Amaranthine. As is old custom, you have the honor of beginning.
I promise that I, Ban Esmerel, will be faithful to the Arl in matters of life, limb, and earthly honor. Never will I bear arms against him or his heirs. So I say, in the sight of the Maker.
I promise that I, Lord Edelbreck...
And so, the ceremony is complete.
Long live the Warden Commander!
Alright, yeah, so there's some discussion that I can do here with some of these guys. So, Sir Tamra.
Warden Commander.
That's
We've
me.
all heard so much about you. So many good things, unbelievable things. But many of your deeds cost people here a chance at great advancement. So many fortunes were deeply intertwined with the old Arl.
Well, that's their
Some
problem.
nobles here, they seek to end your dominion over them. Perhaps you do not know the full extent of their determination. I've had occasion to intercept some of their missives. They are cryptic things.
You don't believe her for a second.
Any individual message is
Yeah,
unintelligible, but together
I don't
they
remember
form a
much of
pattern.
this
They need to
storyline,
end you before you
unfortunately,
can
like
begin.
the
A deadly
conspiracy. It takes a while for it to resolve too, but
Given a few days, I can retrieve the messages. I would have brought them tonight, but I didn't know if warning you would be wise. I've much to lose and precious little to gain. Farewell. We will meet again soon.
alright, well, don't think no. Oh, what's Anders got for a...
So what would you do if you didn't have to be a Grey Warden? Really? Once you drink the blood, it's all downhill, no? I've never liked the idea of being trapped somewhere, to be honest. It reminds me of the Circle. After my 7th escape attempt, you'd think they'd have given me credit for trying. I got really good at escaping the tower, just never good at staying escaped. Until now, I suppose. The only thing I ever missed about the Circle was that cat, to be honest. So I do. How are you doing in there, Sir Bouncer Lord? Ha! You'll be a fine mouser yet. Can cats be Grey Wardens?
Oh, this one has to be. Okay. So that was just a... So unlike Origins, you can't just talk to your party members while you're traveling. So the only place where you could really engage in actual conversations with them are in this room.
Now this is what I'm talking
But
about.
they won't all have like dialogue options available. So I guess that must be what they do to let you know that you can talk to them, is they'll have like the little quest thing over their heads.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean. Do you know the conspirators? The right of high justice is yours, and treachery is a capital offense. She's a sly one, Sir Tamra, but
Oh, is she
knowledgeable
now?
about such things. Better to
You
be
mean
a
she's
touch
not totally
paranoid
trustworthy?
than turning up face down in a ditch. To proceed, we'd need strong proof, and that'll be hard to gather. There are options, some I would not recommend. They could turn the nobles fierce.
We'll keep it in our back pocket.
Loghain and half the kingdom tried to stop you last time. I suppose there's little to worry about. Anything else?
Yeah, let's just get this over with.
As you wish, Commander. Clear the hall. The Commander has business to attend to.
Maybe I should have tried talking to more people. I don't know how many of them you could actually interact with, so. Right, we'll put in the cunning. Well, there's Nathaniel Howe. Oh, okay.
Don't worry. I'll keep my mouth.
Right, I need to give you your equipment. Okay, we're gonna give him the Trickster's Tunic, right? That sounds good. Trickster's Cap. Ooh, or is the battle dress better? +3 to dexterity, +3 to armor. No, we'll give him the battle dress, the Provocateur.
Firmly shut. Why don't I just wait in the corner then?
Alright, sweet. So, make our way back out to the keep. I think we're almost to the point where we can start traveling. I may have received more clues. Yeah, I don't remember I don't think I can actually get anything until I get those letters.
Commander. Just give me a moment.
Okay, perfect. So I think we've done everything that we can do here. Just gonna level up these other characters. And then I'm gonna take like just a quick 2-minute break. Get a drink, and then I'll be right back. So let's see, what are we gonna do for Anders? Okay, let's go bring up to 50 magic, and then the rest can just go into willpower. We'll increase his mana pool. We'll give him rock armor. Actually, no, let's go with we'll go with training aura. Why not? And then Nathaniel is an assassin, because of course he is. We'll go with Shadow, that also makes sense, and Ranger, why not? Seven skills, so we can max out that. Okay, so he does not have all the archery abilities, so let's go ahead and give him what we can there. We'll go Shadow. And I guess we should give him at least one regular stealth.
So, you're a Howe.
Do you have a point, Mage?
Hey, I'm fond of the Hows. I'm also fond of the whys, the whos, and the whats.
How clever.
Oh, it's shameful how long it took me to come up with that.
Alright, so here's the world map. So we got a few different locations we can go to. We have the city of Amaranthine. So this is actually sort of north of, like, Denerim, right? So if you look at the very bottom of the map, it actually says south to Denerim. So this is, essentially, this is up above all the locations that we had gone to. The most northern, the only location that might have appeared up here was the oh god, what was it called? It was the keep, the Dryden's Keep that we had for like the DLC from Origins, but this is like sort of north above everything else. What's also interesting is that it says north to the Free Marches, and the Free Marches is where the second game takes place. So this is kind of like literally right in the middle geographically between Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. So what we're going to do... actually, I'm going to check my quest to see where I should be going. So a daughter ransomed. Okay, so that's the Forlorn Cove. Okay. Far fields. Travel to the estate. Farmer and her family are under threat from Darkspawn. Okay, yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll probably do the daughter ransomed one. So, yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then I will be right back, and we will make our way to the Forlorn Cove. So, just be right back. All right. Yeah, so that's all taken care of. Just had to grab another drink. And yeah, so we are going to head to the Forlorn Cove. I think this was a location that you actually go to in Liliana's song as well. Like, it's the map that's used for that location. Or for that DLC, I should say.
Another step and poor Lady Eileen dies. Where's Lord Bensley? The deal was he'd give us the money himself. Orc, show her. Hand over the gold. Now. Orc, send her over.
Well, that was easy.
The money. Now.
You must be joking. Oh, man. So I could attack them, or I could pay them 30 sovereigns. No, you know what? These guys are kidnappers, and I don't like them.
Defend yourselves, men.
More enemies ahead! Shall we not?
Oops, I forgot that I have stealing on the quick menu. I'm gonna have to change that, because I really don't want that. Okay, so that's been updated. You freed her, who was headed home. Okay, so yeah, so I should get a letter when I go to Vigil's Keep. With hopefully my payment. And then the next location we're going to go to is the Chernobyl Estate, because that was another one of these side quests. And then we'll head to the city of Amaranthine, which is where we can sort of start with the main quest. It also seems, so yeah, I think with this expansion as well, I want to say that creatures are just worth more. Like, I think the leveling is going to be quicker in this than it was in Origins. Jeez, Nathaniel's almost dead. I'll have to heal him up.
Darkspawn up ahead.
So yeah, I think this is a situation where no matter what you do, you just arrive too late to actually save anyone. Okay, so that quest is completed, so what does that say for... Yeah, so I don't think you can save the family at all. Like, I don't think it matters what you do. Because I've come here first, and you still never seem to be able to save them. So that's just one of those things. Yeah, I think we've cleared everybody out. Oh no, Genlock over there. So since we're playing Dragon Age and sometimes talking about Dragon Age, this upcoming Tuesday, it should be the return of our Dragon Age tabletop game over on Master of the Game. So one of the players was out for a little bit, but as far as I know, he's sort of back, and hopefully we'll be able to make it for the next session. It's been a while since the last time we got to play it.
You seem rather attached to that cat, Anders.
It's more that he's rather attached to me. Isn't that right, Sir Bouncer?
Isn't that name a little ridiculous?
What do you think I should call him? Frederick?
There are worse names, I suppose.
Oh, they're gonna be friends. Oh, but yeah, I'm looking really forward to returning back to the tabletop game. I've really missed that group for like the last month or so.
Commander.
I don't think she's got anything for me.
Give me a moment.
Oh, no, okay. I couldn't remember if the letter appeared right away or if you wait until like a certain point in the story. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Like I also really hope that once I finish, once I go through and finish the Dalish Curse, I kind of hope that we continue, even if it's just for, you know, a short adventure or two, because I really love the Dragon Age system. And honestly, that group is probably going to be the only way I'm going to get a chance to run it. Oh.
Ah, it's the Warden Commander. The rumors about you did not overstate it. I have a business proposal. Look for me by the house near the gates. I promise it will be worthwhile.
Do you, shady character?
Oh, Amaranthine, the jewel of the north.
Is it? Ooh, hello.
Task is finished.
Quote-unquote locked treasure chests. Alright, so what does shady character want?
You're just like me.
The guards.
Am I now?
They won't let anyone into the city, but it's
Everyone
dangerous
hates your
outside the
family for
walls.
something terrible they did, even though you weren't involved.
I hope you have a point, Anders.
It's like you're a mage. If there were more hows, they'd lock all of you up in a tower to protect everyone else.
A thrilling analogy.
Ah,
hello, shady character.
I knew you'd come. You know an opportunity when it presents itself, no? I offer a partnership that would benefit us both. The bartender at a local inn has overstepped his bounds. He was hired to watch one of the entrances to our den, but now seeks to extort more coin. Terrible, isn't it? A person of your influence would have no trouble convincing him to open the passage. Return to me when this is done.
No, I cannot. I shall do it. Think again. No, I cannot.
Oh, I thought I got the key from him. Alright, well, that's not too bad. He just, you know, just dealing with some smugglers. Oh, so here's Colbert.
Hey, what are you staring at?
Colbert.
Looking to start something. Oh, here to investigate the chasm, are you? It's about time. I can't take all the credit for finding the rift, you know. Mika here fell in first. Well, it's quite a ways out of town. We were tracking a buck off in that direction, you see, before this darkspawn mess. We'd been on his tail for about a week at that point. I'd wager he thought it was great fun leading us on a merry chase as he did.
Go on.
That buck was a sly one, he was. He had big feet and a... Oh, the chasm, yes. We saw it
Giant
coming on
gnashing
the rise.
teeth.
It was really something to behold.
A huge cleft, as though the Maker himself had cracked the earth in two, like an egg.
I like eggs.
It looked like someone had tried to build over it, but it must have been abandoned a long time ago. No one in town knew about it. Well, of course, we had to investigate. That was when Mika fell in. A shriek like you wouldn't believe, and he was gone.
Earth crumbled, not stable.
Right. And as Mika lay there yelling about his knee or his head or what have you...
Boy, Mika, you're
the
so
dark spawn
talkative. I
appeared.
just need you to stop blabbering.
They seemed occupied, like they had someplace really important they had to be. Didn't notice us at all, thank the Maker.
The Darkspawn was so occupied as to overlook two screaming injured men. Boggles the mind.
I marked the chasm on my map so we could avoid it, but sounds like you want to know where it is, so here you go. So, we getting anything for our trouble?
Huge coincidence that his parents named him Shady Character, and he grew up to be a smuggler. I mean, how awkward to be a cleric named like Shady Character. That's true. I guess it all worked out. I don't know, maybe they went to a fortune teller while she was pregnant.
A whole sovereign. If there's ever a reason to fall into a darkspawn pit, here it is. Maker bless you.
Okay, so that gives me some information that I can go to visit. Tree.
Ah, can you smell that? That is the smell of freedom. It comes complete with the smell of dogs and dust. But the freedom is in there too. I escaped from the tower 7 times. After the last time, they put me in solitary confinement for a year. Eventually, I'm sure they would have branded me a Maleficar, true or not, and executed me.
Oh, was that grumpy teen years? Yeah. Yeah, I guess he kind of filled the Sandal role, I guess, but... I mean, nobody can ever match Sandal for pure charisma.
The problem is that mages are tolerated, barely. It's like you need permission to be alive. There's nothing a mage can do to prove himself. Everyone needs to be protected from you. The end. That's good. Why aren't you in charge of everything again? All I want is a pretty girl.
Oh, I kind of
a
am. I am the
decent meal, and
protagonist.
the right to shoot lightning at fools. See? I knew you understood. Never mind me. Now and again I recall that I'm not sitting in a cell and I have to smile. That's all.
Please, let us in.
Excuse me, but I need to search your packs for smuggled goods. Thank you. I will make this quick.
What are you doing, man? Are you accusing the commander of the Grey of smuggling?
But you said everyone...
You are dismissed.
No, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm fine with it. He's just doing his job.
Smugglers and thieves have all but taken over the city. Yes, Warden Commander. The smugglers have us scrambling, to be honest. We could certainly use your help in this. Come speak to me later if you're interested.
Oh yeah, no, those nasty smugglers. Boy, I sure do hate smugglers. And definitely am not working for them in any way, shape, or form. Oh, but he's got my nephew's name, okay.
Warden Commander. I take it you've decided to help us. With trade slowed to a crawl, smugglers have moved in, selling stolen goods at exorbitant prices. If we could shut down their operation and seize their supplies, we could distribute it to the needy. There is a smuggler doing business in the market. He probably knows where the hideout is. We haven't been
Yeah, I
able
have
to
a pretty
get
good
in,
idea where the hideout
but
is.
maybe you can.
Yeah, okay, so I think I've done the smuggler's quest once. And then I usually just go and do the, like the lawful one. So, which is what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go with the lawful one. Hello, suspicious character. You must be related to Shady Character. Must be brothers.
Greetings. Could I interest you in, wait a minute. My lad said they saw you talking to the... You'll learn not to stick your nose where it don't belong. Watch your step.
Well, okay. Alright, come on, man. Hired goons. Okay, where did he go? I see a red triangle all the way up here, so...
Looks like we're in for some blood.
There he is. Not sure why he's got this invulnerability field around him, but...
Another one.
Nothing personal, just business.
Okay, come on.
The whole quiet and stoic thing must get a lot of action out of it.
Into the fray!
I shall do it. Very well.
Oh, well, you keep running, but we're going to get you. You're also just standing right there. I really wish I could just attack you right now. Oh, he's gonna keep going this time, is he? Oh no, he stopped. Okay, never mind. And that's the power of Whirlwind.
I wish I could tell the first enchanter I'm a Grey Warden now. Maker, I hated that bastard.
We're still gonna do this, are we?
More enemies ahead!
Good for nothing, Lapwing.
We got the guard there. That's a nice little touch that there's actually like a guard member that will attack these guys that become hostile. I wonder where he went. A caltrop trap. So, traps are another thing that I've never really used in this game. I feel like at some point that's something I should try to do, is like to use traps along
Any
with
luck
those
with
cells.
the smugglers? That house has been locked up for years. To think that all this time it's been hiding the entrance. There will
Well,
surely
the
be
entrance is
someone on
pretty
guard.
frickin' obvious. It's
Where
just like a
there's a guard,
giant
there's a
trap
key.
door.
If you can find a way into the hideout, the smugglers won't have a chance. Good luck, Commander.
Alright. So what I need you guys to do is just relax. I'm gonna go all stealth. Oh, Shady Character's back. Nothing to steal, though.
No, I cannot.
I honestly don't remember where I get the key. Oh, whoops. Okay, I meant to do that. So Law and Order. Okay, so that's you to do whoever. I hope I didn't screw myself by pickpocketing the guy early. Because that might suck. Oh, we'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, that's something I can just look up later.
You think there's an apothecary around here somewhere?
For what?
Yeah, I don't want to bother you with this. You being my boss and all. I've tried those, but they only stop the itching for a few hours. Right. Look, for the past few days, I've had this burning rash. The skin's actually got a sort of greenish look to it. I didn't touch anything.
What did you touch this
It's
time?
that Grey Warden stuff we had to drink. Too late for regrets. Yeah, I'll just see if I can't find some nice minty balm somewhere in this town.
Oh, that's Wynn.
Oh,
interesting.
It is so good to see you, my friend. I
I
contemplated visiting you
forgot she
this
was
week,
even
but
in this.
Things got busy.
I really thought Ogren was like the only character. Well, Ogren and Alistair. I thought they were the only two that you actually encountered.
The College of the Magi is convening in Cumberland, and I must attend. Hopefully, all this will blow over before it's begun.
So, when are we
But
playing
you have
Cyberpunk?
enough on your mind as it is. I shan't trouble
We
you
got
with
so much stuff already. Like,
Very well. Then perhaps you should know that something.
so like I
stirs
said,
within
once
the
when I get my glasses
The Libertarians
and
wish to
and
pull
can
away
go through and
entirely
read it
from the
without getting headaches,
And if they get enough support-
we'll try to work something out for it then.
Entirely. That's madness. I hate Chantry Oversight as much as the next mage. But they can't just decide to leave.
We have to start scheduling every
This is a
weekend.
recipe for disaster.
Yeah, at some point, I don't know. Like, so I'm thinking, like, so what we might have to do is start doing one of the Saturdays. Like, so just have like one weekend where it's both days. Even if the Saturday is only like, you know, a shorter session, like 3 hours. Because I really want to try Cyberpunk out, but I mean I want to try. I do want to try running it. So, I think there's some adventure with the starter set that I'd really like to go through.
Well, it could turn out to be nothing, but keep your ear to the ground anyway.
No, glasses
Now, I
haven't
have
come
a
in
great
yet.
many
I'm still waiting
preparations to
on
make
them. So I'm
before I leave for
hoping.
Navarra.
I was hoping to get them
Perhaps there is
by the end of
something
this
you
week,
can
but
do for
I'm
me.
really starting to wonder
One of
now.
my colleagues.
It's been so they said it could
spent
take
the
up
last
to
few
like
months in the
3
Wendell
weeks.
Wood. The Circle has been unable to reach
And
her, given
tomorrow
the trouble
would
in the
be
area.
like
If you happen to find yourself in
3
the
full
wood
weeks,
on your
but
travels,
here in Nova
perhaps
Scotia,
you
it
could tell her about
is
the meeting
a
of the
holiday tomorrow. It's not. It's a new holiday, so it's kind of up in the air as to, like certain provinces observe it and certain provinces don't. And I don't want to get into all that, but there's a pattern as to who does it and who doesn't, and I'll just leave it at that. But because it's a holiday, even though it's not like a statutory holiday all across Canada, the Postal Service will still be like they'll still be down for the day. So it's unlikely it'll show up tomorrow. But I really do want to get them because I've got a bunch of stuff that I have to try reading through. Like just earlier today, the Starfinder tech manual came in, and that one looks really cool, right? It has, you know, like a class dedicated to like having like nanotechnology in your system, and it has like mech suits. So if you wanted to have like a mech based, you know, encounters or stuff, you can do that. But it's just like I've got that. I've got adventures to read through, and it's just it's hard. It's hard on my eyes. So I really hope that shows up soon.
Oh, who knows, rooting around in the dirt for some obscure plant or other, most likely. She has a keen interest in gardening. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant botany. Hobbies and eccentricities aside, Ines is a well-respected mage and a voice of reason. Something we could use on our side. The hour is late and I must go. It was wonderful to see you again. Take care, my friend.
Give shelter to the weary and lift up the weak. In time, the Maker will see and smile upon your deeds.
Okay. Donation of injury kits. Oh, it's completed. Okay. I guess I just didn't get a reward for it. That's fine. Okay, I see what's going on here.
World are finite. What one man gains, another has lost.
Okay, fine. Oh, 5 potent health poultices. How many do I have? I have 0 potent. Okay. Anders has full herbalism, doesn't he? Okay, so he's got the potent... Oh, does he not have? Never mind. He might not have the herbalism all the way through. I thought he did. Nope, he does not. Does anyone? No. Okay. That's fine. I can rework his stats if I need to. Okay, so I do want to go there, but not right away. What I'm looking for... I'm not going to say what I'm looking for, but there's other, like, quest marker things down here. So I kind of want to do those first.
Think again.
And just really hope that I haven't screwed myself with a shady character.
Greetings,
Warden side quests.
You're the sort who delights in helping the common man, yes?
Okay, but well, thanks for hanging out, Roll Stats. I appreciate your company, and yeah, we'll see you. Actually, yeah, this Sunday it's Curse of Strahd, isn't it? So I'll see you then. Anyway, have a good night, man. It's always great hanging out and chatting with you. So I'll see you in a couple of days.
Me? No, not me, personally. Folk here often need goods from far-flung parts. They post the requests here. There is good coin in this, particularly with trade halted by the trouble on the roads. If
Yeah,
you
I'm
ever
working
feel
on that.
inclined, please take a look at the jobs available.
Already did. Alright, what do you want?
Warden Commander! Thank the Maker you're finally here. I was afraid our messages never got through to you. Yes. Thank you for coming to the Guild. We need your help. Our caravans are being attacked. The wagons are burnt to ashes, and there have been no survivors. It's gotten worse lately. People from the neighboring villages have found guards torn limb from limb and left in the village square.
That doesn't sound good.
Yes, that much is clear. Whatever it is, it's completely crippled trade between Amaranthine and Denerim. No one wants to travel the road through the Wending Wood. Can the Grey Wardens help at all?
I think we can look into that.
Oh, Maker.
I mean, I don't know
bless
about
you and
immediately,
watch
but
over
I'll
you.
investigate it.
If you can stop the killings, the Merchants Guild will make a hefty donation to your organization. You have my promise.
Oh, I just like the bottle of poison just sitting right out there. Oh wait, I think that's for a quest, isn't it? I didn't even look to see what the quests were. Keep out of the reach of children. Find Antivan poison in the stores around. Okay. I can do that. Oh geez, that just took me right into his shop. What is that? I might hold on to that one. Okay, I can buy runes from him. Pure iron. I think that's useful for some of the crafting stuff, like with Master Wade and Heron. That stuff we can sell. I don't need the jewels. Oh, there's a bottle of poison up here. What do you sell? Potent health poultices. I'll take them all. Okay, so I can turn that into the to the Chanters. So let's do that right away. How many? So all 5. Oh, I have them all already. Okay. I'm gonna enter the tavern eventually, but for now...
Repent and have faith, and you...
Oh, I didn't get anything for those either. That's honestly a little disappointing, but that's fine. Alright, trade another quest. I also saw some red enemy, like, indicators, so I'll have to go check that out as well. Oh no, okay, that's another bottle of poison. So how many do I have? 14, okay. That's more than 5.
So good to see you again. It seems I owe you a reward, yes? Yes, of course.
Oh, and Anders gained a level. Let's keep pumping up his willpower for now. What is this one? Arcane Mastery... Yep. Alright, yeah, so there's those red, that red triangle down at the bottom of the mini-map on the top corner. Oh, there's a few of them. Alright, let's see what this is all about. There's a lot of them.
Very well. The rest of you pay up. Shall be done. Very well. Now!
Man, I honestly cannot remember what these are all for, or what this is pertaining to.
Shall be done. Very well.
I've got all these thugs attacking me. I mean, that might be related to the smugglers, maybe? Like, maybe one of them will drop the key. Maybe I don't steal the key. Maybe one of them will just drop the key. Because the other groups are up here.
The scum called in some help. We got them all.
Very well. Shall be done. I shall come. Very well.
Oh, once I figure out what the, or once I get the quest updated thing. I also like how Shady Character's just, like, literally just standing there, watching. Oh, preying on the weak, okay.
More enemies ahead.
Oh, all I have to do is talk to him. Okay. I'll take that, Shady Character. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, I guess I was right when I remembered, like, being able to just fight him, or fight someone and get the key. It wasn't those thugs, but we got it.
Finished.
So, let's do it. Break up a smuggling operation because I'm a hero.
I heard about you. You were giving some of my boys trouble, weren't you?
We must not.
Maybe. Oh man, come on. You're wasting my attack. Ooh. Yeah, I was giving more than your boy some trouble. I think I just gave you some trouble. Okay, is there more stuff that I can interact with here? So yeah, I'm kind of remembering some of the stuff that I can do here, but like I said, I've only played this Awakening a couple of times. I think it's been like I think it's been 4. I think I've gone through it 4 times and tried to make a few different choices each time. Because there are some, like, there's not as many decisions to make in this version of the game, in, like, Awakening as there was in Origins. But there are a few things that you have to sort of make, like, your moral choices are in. Like a mini battle, yeah, that's basically what it was.
The city of Amaranthine owes you a great debt. Thank you, Commander.
10 gold is actually pretty good. Alright, I didn't check out all the stuff that you have. Offhand. Ooh, that is better. Okay. Yeah, we'll take the Rose's Thorn. Sounds a little emo-y maybe, but we'll take it. And you know what? Let's actually pass out some gifts too. because I don't have I don't like the feast day pranks and gifts to give. So let's try to get some stuff going here. So Delilah Howe's letters. So those are going to go to Nathaniel.
I've always wanted one of these.
Snow Globe, King Kalen, Queen Enora.
This is nice. Is this what I think it is? It is. That's the Howe crest burned into the wood right there. This is my grandfather's bow. Or rather, my grandfather was the last to use it. It was originally made for an ancestor during the Exalted Marches. Thank you. It's good to have a part of my family's legacy again. Something to be proud of.
Jeez, plus 29. So yeah, he got plus 15 from that. Now the bow, can I equip it, or is it actually broken? Oh, no, it's okay. It works. Okay, no, that one's just as good as the one that he currently has. All right, so back to the gifts. Boy, I'm surprised Ogren's approval is so low, considering that it was maxed out when I was playing Origins, but that's fine. Because we've got some booze.
My ancestors, this is a wonderful gift. That looks fine indeed. It'll do, sure.
Alright. Okay, the toy chariot, that's gotta go to Anders.
Thanks, I guess.
It'll do.
Thanks.
There we go. What do you have, Mr. the Grocer? Some mage stuff. That's good to know. I don't know if I want to buy gifts too much right now, but that's okay. It's good to know what he has. Okay, and that's stuff that I literally sold him. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we had all that straightened out.
I am done.
So next we're going to go to the tavern. Just make sure there's no new quests or stuff added along the way. I should check the Chanter's board again too, actually. I don't think there's anything new there, but I'll check it on the way out, because I'm gonna go into the tavern first.
Anders, the comparison between my family and mages, it's idiotic. I'm not about to transform into an abomination simply for being a Howe.
I didn't say it was a perfect analogy.
Being a Howe also does not allow me to control your mind.
Kinda missing my point, aren't you?
I am not a fan of oversimplifications.
Fine, fine. Your loss.
Yeah, thanks. Well, so there are certain gifts that you can give that are... So certain characters, like, they'll have preferences for things. So if you give them something that is not really, like, falling on that list, you'll sort of get that kind of response back. And I also want to say there's a bit of diminishing returns when it comes to gifts. Like, there's certain ones that will always give you, like, a pretty decent boost, but if you start giving, like, just gift after gift after gift, it does start to diminish how much you actually get back in return, so... Which makes sense. Okay, so there... So here is the Blight Orphans notice board. So the Blight Orphans. Scrawled on a stained, smudged piece of paper. We are the Blight Orphans of Amaranthine. Poor children whose mothers and fathers have been killed by the Darkspawn. We are very cold in winter and need 50 silver for clothes and food. Please help. Please put the money, M-U-N-N-Y, in the mug by the board. Thank you, good sirs. Oops. I think I forgot to accept that quest, so... Okay, so we donated 50 silvers.
I hear Hubert's gang got their hands on some moonshine. You think they'll sell some to me?
Hubert hates you.
That's a no, then.
Yeah, so the single malt, so any alcoholic beverage I come across, Ogren will like that more.
In the fields. Want to see? It's bleeding and there's pus and everything.
What can I get for you, friend? What? Did they put you up to this? Huh. If they can get the Warden Commander to do their dirty work, they can afford to pay me more.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, there's really
Is there
no
anything
need
else
to
I
do
can
that.
do for you?
So that's interesting. It doesn't actually end the smuggler's quest, even though I killed all the smugglers. That is interesting. So it's normally, like, in the game, that's normally what happens. Like, if there are two quests that are sort of, like, at odds with one another, once you choose one, the other one will automatically just go away, like you won't have it there anymore. So it's kind of interesting that that's actually stayed.
No! Something I can do for you, friend? And who are you supposed to be that's asking? A dwarf? Truly? Well, I suppose I... Well, never mind that. Haven't seen that fellow Christoph for almost a week now. Not sure where he went. His room's paid up to the end of the month. I guess he expected he'd be here a while.
Alright, well, can I see his room?
Here you go. It's the last room at the end of the hall. If he comes back and gets upset, however, it's on your head.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, I kind of want to get rid of that quest thing, though.
Friend? What? Huh. If they can get the Warden Commander to do... It'll take me some time to move stuff out of the way. Come back soon and it'll be ready. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nope, that's it.
Come back soon.
He hasn't gotten word yet. You know, and to be fair, I kind of... It seems like an oversight, but I also kind of like that. Because there's so many, like, role-playing games. Like, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was a prime example of that. Where you'll complete a mission, teleport back, and the people already know that you've done everything. Like, you don't even get the opportunity to tell them yourself. It's just like, oh, well, you know, we heard what you did.
What now?
So even though, like I said, it's definitely an oversight, I kind of appreciate the fact that that he doesn't automatically know what's happened.
These creatures have no true reason.
Oh, I don't know if I like killing a ferret. Good lord. I think it's dead. Right, what's in this room? Don't mind me, just the main character in a role-playing game, so just helping myself to your possessions.
I am done.
Kristoff's mementos. Okay, so we got his journal. Well, I'm not going to go through and read all that. We have a map of Ferelden. The map shows several locations, each crossed out except for a place called Blackmarsh. Interesting.
Finished.
Okay, actually his journal isn't that bad. So it just says, few in town have heard anything about the Darkspawn stragglers. I have doubted reports myself until a man told me he encountered Darkspawn in the Black Marsh. Although locals say the marsh is haunted, brave and desperate souls like this man still risk collecting peat. The man said their leader spoke, but all know Darkspawn cannot talk. More horrifying, he described a monster. A worm with legs. Surely he was mistaken about it following the Darkspawn. I shall leave for Blackmarsh in the morning. Okay, we also got a letter. So a letter from Arya. Dearest Kristoff, my sister and her babe are well. I shall leave Jader as soon as they are settled. Expect me at Vigil's Keep within the month. Oh boy. Ferelden is cold and wet, so make sure your socks are dry before you put them on. I know how it is with men. Hey, Cam. Yeah, alright, fair enough. You can slay 1,000 Darkspawn when it comes to clean clothes and dry socks, you're hopeless. Can't wait to see you. Love, Aura. Well, that's nice. Random exploding fairy. Yeah, I have no idea. So I that may have been a spell that Anders used, but dear lord, that's overkill.
Looking to wet your whistle, stranger?
I don't know. You are someone I can talk to, though.
We chatted a bit. He was a friendly sort for a Grey Warden. Spent most of his nights here drinking. Wasn't ever loud or too forward. Haven't seen him for maybe a week now. Said he was tracking some Darkspawn, one particular group that's been raiding outside the city. He told me they were acting strange.
There's a Darkspawn plant.
Acting obvious.
Yeah, I don't know why I get to kill it. I don't think I've ever actually done that before, so that's like completely new to me. I'm hoping that wasn't someone's pet and I just made like a mortal enemy.
I think so. There were a few places he mentioned he needed to look. That might have been one of them. We chatted, like I said. He's married, as I recall. My pleasure. Send him my best when you see him.
Okay, that's not as, that didn't go quite the way that I thought it would.
Andraste or the Archdemon?
The Archdemon.
But Andraste could call on the Maker.
That would be cheating. Are you calling Andraste a dirty cheater?
She cheated on her husband, didn't she?
I do like those drunks. Let's see if the orphans have anything else. Okay, nope, not this time. Okay, so I can't remember if we go to Blackmarsh right away or not. There's a few different locations that we can go to. I'll probably hold off on Blackmarsh for a little bit. Okay, nope, nothing new there. Perfect. Oh, can I actually go in? Okay, I can go in the Chantry. Oh boy.
May I help you? I am fortunate indeed that the Commander of the Grey has taken a personal interest in this matter. I'm sorry our note was vague, but Amaranthine is a hotbed of Maleficar activity. Details of who and what they were about would undoubtedly get back to them. Apostates and Maleficarum are all too common across the nation, alas. I have worked with an artist to create these sketches of the three suspects. If you could confront them and question them, you would be doing the Maker's work.
Yeah, I didn't think Anders would like that. That's fine.
What now?
The Maleficarum, Anders.
It's not like Karam to be gone this long. I was sure I would find him at the inn. Oh, where has...
Uh-oh. Okay, so Karam.
My Karam gone. friends and neighbors would do well to heed this lesson and join us in prayer.
Well, let's see what goodies I can help myself to here. Experience points. Ah, blank vellum. Jeez, where'd she go? Blank journal, so that might be something Anders would like, right?
Worst idea in the history of...
Oh, okay. Oh, alright. Just chill. Okay, so if they react super strongly to you trying to give them a gift, that means that it is a specific gift for a specific character.
Thanks.
That looks fine indeed.
This is nice.
Okay, so yeah, so the blank journal must come from a different party member. There's not a ton more party members that we're going to add to the party, but there are at least a couple more.
Don't touch me! Don't!
Okay, wasn't planning on it.
It figures, actually. There used to be another statue here. It was a Byron Howe, my great uncle. He died in the rebellion, helping King Merrick reclaim his throne. Yet his statue is gone. All because of what my father did.
Yeah, your father was a jerk.
Don't bother. Nobody here will want to see it. There's a long line of heroes in my family. The Howes have been around since Callan had. Now it's all gone. And for what? For being on the wrong side of the war? For choosing poorly? Maybe you're right. I wish I knew exactly how. I wonder what happened to the old statue. Likely propping up the side of a chantry or something. Poor Al Byron. Yeah, statues of her pigeons. I don't want to look at it.
Statues for pigeons. That sounds like a Shale reference. Okay, so back into the bar. What's that? Oh, a note fragment. Okay, what's the... Found a fragment of a note written by Alma's husband. Apparently ripped up and discarded. He mentioned the catwalks. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that was a quest that I kind of remember. Yeah. Alright, so the Blight Orphans, okay, they've gone through and added some more stuff. So the first one is the Blight Orphans again. They're thankful for the donation of 50 silvers, but now they need money for pillows and blankets, so 2 sovereigns. We'll warm us right up. Can someone get us a bottle of the inn's best brandy?
What can I get for you, friend?
Okay, so there's the brandy. So yeah, so the donation went from like a little cup, a tin cup, to now it's a box. Okay, so we donated everything in there. So the next one is Moonshine for Children, or for the children. Hello, it is us again, the Blight Orphans. Did you know that Hubert's gang across town got their hands on a bunch of moonshine? Our nurse says that Hubert is a stupid, whoring bastard, and that us orphans would find better use for the moonshine. She says using strong drink like that on our skin knees would stop the maggots from growing on them. Please get us the moonshine. Okay, and then the Sermons of Justinia. Reverend Mother Lena is such a wise lady, and she's always telling us what to do because she's a preachy bit lady. We would like to get her book so we can learn from it. It's called The Sermons of Justina the Saint, or something like that. Please, thanks, bye.
Hey, why didn't we think of this earlier? Wine and women all day and all night.
Here's to our mysterious benefactor.
Long may this cow be milked.
Okay, so in case it's not painfully obvious, the well, we'll keep going. We'll keep going before I spoil it. I'm sure you've already managed to piece it together, but it's kind of a better version of the war veterans asking for money in the Origins, like the Alienage. This is like a better version of that, with the orphans, the Blight orphans. Okay, nothing? Alright, that's fine. Just gonna make our way to Hubert's Den. Templars.
Bloody Yes, everything is fine.
Is it? Because you're talking to yourself.
Must keep calm, keep normal. Yes, everything is fine.
Is it fine, though?
Shall be done.
Nope. I'm not gonna let you cast Misdirection Hex. Okay, so we talked to her.
I've no money, no home. I don't know how I'll survive.
Hey, you can't just barge
Oh yeah, you're
in here.
being catfished. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so basically those two drunks at the tavern, they are the Blight orphans. So there's a crate of moonshine. Is he gonna give me anything, or is that it? I think that's it. So yeah, like I said, it reminds me a lot of the quest, of the quest where you're like in the alienage in Denerim, and
Perhaps a heart. Yeah.
and every time you like enter a building and come back out, I gotta go to the battlements anyway.
What? Go away!
You there's like just a larger and larger group. Okay, can we stun you? Okay.
And another one eats dust.
Okay, and I want to be on the battlements anyway, because I need to find that note. Or another scattered fragment of that note. And I forget exactly where it is. It might be on the other side.
the Wardens are nothing but a bunch of criminals.
Okay, well that's nice of you.
You could have used your influence to help the people of this city. But you're just a common murderer. I've nothing to say to you.
Oh, damn it. Oh, because I talked to that guy. Well, that sucks. I guess I should have just lived with the frickin' quest arrow. Man, oh, I don't want to have to go back and redo that. When was the last autosave? Yeah. Oh man, that sucks. I didn't want that to be the case. Like I wanted to go through because I think he has other stuff for me, and the shady patron is dead, so it's not like I can, or shady character.
I guess you can buy anyone with gold. Even Grey Wardens.
Ah, damn it. Alright, I might have to go back and redo stuff.
I guess you can buy anyone with gold. Even Grey
Ah,
Wardens.
yeah, okay. We'll see what happens. I might...
Bloody bastard! You won't catch me!
I didn't even kill anyone. Like, I don't know why I'm being called murderers. Like, I broke up the smuggling ring. Oh, that's really annoying.
Hey, you're that important person.
Go get your own drink.
Oh, that's rich. Those sweet orphans. Thank you for the book. We're having a lot of fun with it. We also want to say a big thank you to Mother Leanna for lending us the book. We got something for her. It's a bunch of herbs we gathered ourselves. They're in a basket. Can someone put the herbs in her bed? It would be a nice surprise for her, make her bed smell like roses and lavender. Oh, I'm really mad about that. No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, I mean it's my own fault for following through.
Fun fellow to have around then, your brother.
He could find his fun almost anywhere. And then he would vomit on your shoes.
Ah, good times.
Okay, I want to see something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a manual save. I just want to see what the difference is in playtime. Load game. Okay, the autosave's not that far back. Let me just see how far back I am. And where I am and what I've got left to do. Okay, that's just with the smugglers. Alright, perfect. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save game. and I'm going to create a new save file. And basically what I'll do is I'll try to just redo all the stuff that I have already completed. It may be between streams, so I don't want to go too far in terms of what I actually do. Yeah, okay. No, that's not that big of a setback. That should be fine. I'd be better off as an elf, maybe. Okay, so that's not, yeah, okay. So that's basically what I'll do. I'll try to remember to do that too. So between weeks, I'll just reload that other manual save and just redo everything that I've done, but not talk to that guy, so that the guards won't hate me. And I'll do what I can here for the stream for about another, for about another hour or so. I'll try to do the side quests that I can do.
Looks like we're
You will suffer for what you have done to my apprentices.
Shall we
This one hurts a bit.
Well, did you get your revenge? Okay, so that sucks, but the autosave wasn't too bad. The reason that I wanted to do that is I wanted to ensure that I had a save file that I could go back to. Oh no, it wasn't that I killed the suspicious guy. It's because I went to the person and demanded that he open the tunnel. And that basically sent the idea that I'm working for the smugglers. And because I did that afterwards, it sort of overwrote what I had done against the smugglers already. So that's basically what happened there. So you have to kill the suspicious guy in order to get the key into the smuggler's den. But acting on behalf of the smugglers later, that's what caused the guards to say that I was bought out and everything else. So basically what I wanted to do is I just wanted to go back and create a manual save that I can reload, because the autosave only saves to a single slot. So the next time it autosaves, it would have overwritten it, and then I would have had to basically started the whole thing again from the beginning.
I wish I had a mysterious benefactor.
Dirk's been in a fight with his girl.
What did I come in here for?
You know anything about that?
Yeah. She was pestering him about making an honest woman of her. Should have done.
Oh, okay, I didn't do that. Okay, a scavenger hunt. Some of us orphans lost things while we were playing in the streets last night. We have so little in life, and these things are very important to us. Our nurse says since someone is looking out for us, we should ask for help. We lost a pitchfork, a hammer, and the soles of a pair of shoes. And something appears to be scratched out here. A doll. We would also like a pie. Okay. And then the present. Someone should do something about the crazy harpies who get hysterical and try to kill people who are just trying to have a bit of fun. It's probably her sister's fault, but she's just as insane as Melissa's, and someone should do something. Okay. The Blight Orphans are afraid of this crazy lady. Someone should scare her away with a scarecrow in front of her house with a knife. Okay.
I'll marry you when you figure out how to make whiskey come out of your tail.
So yeah, I guess that was a teachable moment, but it'll work out. So, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into the actual story stuff here, because of that, because I do have to go back and redo some things.
I will pray for you, Commander.
Oh, did I not? Is that quest just completed? Oh, the chanter, okay.
Repent and have faith, and you shall know the peace of the Maker.
Now, I will say that Awakening does have some bugs to it. And that's so that was definitely one of them. Okay, so that's a hammer. We know the pitchfork's there.
Thought of returning to Orzammar?
Not sure I can. Technically, I'm a surface dwarf now.
Why technically? You don't know for certain?
It's not like they send you a letter. Congratulations, you've been ejected from the warrior caste.
Do you care?
Sometimes. Then I drink more and it goes away.
Alright, I forget where the other stuff is that they wanted. Also, the letter, the tattered letter that we found. Basically, so it's leading us to an old house. There's a pie. Oh, and that is something over there. So yeah, so that's where we're gonna go next. We'll go to that we'll go to that house, that abandoned house. It was one that I was actually in earlier. I just never. Homer's Toys. That must be where the doll is. Oh no, bell collar though. So we know who's getting that, right?
You shouldn't have.
Oh, an alcohol called Dragon Piss. That's got Ogren's name written all over it.
Thanks.
Okay, so here's the house, and there is Karam. So we got the third note fragment, and what does the note fragment give us? To tell Alma of her husband's death. Alma's husband appears to have killed himself, thinking he was unworthy of his wife. Perhaps knowing his fate will give her some closure. Okay. I think there's also a scarecrow around here, isn't there? Well, there was one there, but I can't take that one. Looks like one orphan is going to be a sole benefactor. No, puns are always appreciated. I'm a father, so, you know. Yeah, by law, I'm required to love puns. Okay, so we got a couple things to do here. First, we'll talk to Alma.
Oh, Karen, why couldn't you have told me?
Yeah, that seems like one of those things where communication would have just really helped. Oh, there's a revered mother. And her bed is here? Nope. Here? There it is. So those herbs, I'm sure, will make her bed smell like roses and lavender, and have no other effects. Only the best dad jokes. No, absolutely. My wife, by the way, she hates dad jokes. Like, she hates them with a passion. Also, did I get everything that I need for the... Okay, so the doll. I didn't find the doll. Oh. There it is. Girlfriend hates dad jokes too. I make sure I tell her. Oh yeah. Yeah, so her father will always so he'll always come up to me and will initiate like the dad joke, but make sure that she's right there to hear it.
I almost feel sorry. You could tell she wanted to strip down and roll around scratching herself.
Ugh, please, no one needs to see that.
Okay, so yeah, so those herbs made her made the revered mother like all itchy and rashy.
Trying to get something for an itch. What's she been up to?
Okay, so you gotta find the knife first. Poison ivy, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something she was allergic to, anyway. Can't remember where I find the knife. I don't think I buy it. I think I find it somewhere. Could be up at the battlements. Maybe? I'm not going to waste too much time trying to look for it right now. Let's see what other quests I actually have. So the Wending Wood, the Black Marsh. Which is part of the main thing too, right? Yeah, Shadows of the Black Marsh. The only reason I don't want to get too deep into the story stuff right now, just because I have to go back and redo some of this. But, yeah, where do we find the knife? I'm gonna check the battlements just in case. Oh, for the skin exfoliation. Oh, well, that's true. Yeah. Always got to look on the bright side. That's true.
The wardens are nothing but a bunch of criminals.
Yes, okay, I made a mistake and I talked to someone. Just get over it. Okay, it was strange the controller like vibrated a little bit there, so I thought there was something important, but I guess not. Nope, I have no idea where that knife is.
Possible.
Oh, okay, yeah, it vibrated because I moved the, ever so slightly moved the thumbstick, so it vibrates when it lands on something. That's why that did that. That's good to know.
Aye, about time you showed up.
Nemea, you're still here.
I keep my promises.
Powerbomb those guards through a
Turns out you
table,
were
such
right.
crybaby. Yeah,
The cash is here in Amaranth.
that's really annoying. I wish I would have known that, and I could have saved myself some
I did.
hassle.
What you do with that information is up to you. I, for one, am done dealing with mages.
I guess I should thank you.
Damned right you should. You get caught, Anders, I'm not helping you again. That's all I'm saying.
I suppose that requires some explanation.
It might.
She's normally more welcoming than that. A lot more. Nemea is a friend. Last time I escaped from the tower, I asked her to look into some things. That's why I was in Amaranthine. The Templars thought I'd come to take a ship, but it was to meet her. During the Blight, the Templars moved their store of phylacteries to Amaranthine for safety. My phylactery is among them, Nemea learned. So long as the Templars have that sample of my blood, they can find me. I need to destroy it. I know we're busy killing Darkspawn and all, but the sooner we find this vial, the better I'll feel. Should we get a move on?
Okay, yeah, so Anders looking to destroy the phylactery that the Templars used to track.
What are you on about now?
Which is interesting, because like the tracking that they do uses blood in it. Like there's a lot of things in Dragon Age that like they use blood for it in some form or another, but it's supposed to be different than blood magic somehow. Yeah, I'd really like to see if I could find that knife, because I know like that is the scarecrow that I will use. I'm sure of it, but you got to find the knife first. And for these quests, everything should be like around where the city is. Like you never go outside of the city to find it. So it's just a matter of tracking it down somewhere. I don't want to spend too long on it. I just gotta just kind of want to do the things that will keep me away from the main quest. I think there was another treasure chest somewhere too. Yeah. So I can find where the treasure chest is. That should, maybe it's in there? Nope. Does the bartender have a knife? Confirmed Anders is a lich. Yeah, it's not quite that phylactery.
What can I get for you, friend?
Stream froze, computer. Oh, yeah, that sucks. It's been running smooth on mine since the hiccup that I had at the very beginning. No, okay, I wouldn't be buying the dagger because it's they're daggers that I have.
Best watch yourself if you head out of town. Too many darkspawn about.
Oh, for God's sakes. Kitchen knife is right there. Oh, yeah, I'm making a D&D pun. I don't know, I mean, like, to be fair, like, whenever I hear phylactery, that's the very first thing I think of, too. So, it's always, like, strange for me to hear it used in another context. And, like, the whole Anders is a lich thing, it's actually, when we get to Dragon Age 2, it's not super far off. But I'm not gonna, I'll explain that when the time comes. Yeah, Sword Talon, I remember you saying that was freezing up on you too, so I don't know. I mean, it's Twitch, I guess. Okay, so there is the Scarecrow with the knife in it. The knife in the Scarecrow's head. Oh, and I have a level. Let's do that, shall we? Oh, I'm just way too far away from being able to... I guess I could always, I could always redo my points and skills and abilities if I really wanted to have the ability to make the best potions. Making amends. Okay, so the thing that we just did kind of blew up. So the Scarecrow was great, except someone knocked it over and smashed, Melissa's tomato plants. We saw her crying over the lost tomatoes, and we were very sorry. We're poor orphan children who don't know right from wrong. We want to say sorry to Melisse. She likes flowers, but we want to make sure that she doesn't come at us with a rake like she did last time. So we can't deliver the flowers ourselves. Will someone find some flowers and put them in front of her? Yeah, we'll do it. And ordinarily I would pace this stuff out, because we come back to Amaranthian a few times, but again, I had a snafu. So I'll do as much small stuff that'll be quick and easy to do off stream to get back to where I need to be.
I think that's where the phylacteries are. It's probably guarded.
Oh. Okay, we'll go in there in a second, but first, I'm looking for flowers. And I forget where I get those to. Alright, screw it. We'll go in here.
No guards? Maybe they don't want to draw attention to the cache. Could we be that lucky?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, what could possibly go wrong?
Finished.
There's a lyrium potion. I didn't see it. Oop, another room.
And here I almost believed the infamous Anders wouldn't take the bait.
Ah,
I cast detect flowers. I wish. Locate object, right?
You made a poor choice with this one, Commander. Anders will never submit, not to us and not to you. So far, yes. I'll make sure that this murderer is never a bother to anyone again.
What? No, you can't arrest me! King Alistair allowed my conscription.
Yeah, that's true.
Chantry's authority supersedes the crown in this matter.
It does not.
You cannot hide within the Grey Warden's ranks. Hardly surprising. The Grey Wardens have ever been a haven for criminals and Maleficar.
Okay, well, I'm not going to feel bad about this at all, then.
Loyalty, Anders, but it will avail you naught. Now you come with us.
Yeah, I don't think so. And whirlwind attack.
I wonder if Nemea knew about this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Thank you.
Oh, she most
You
assuredly
stood by
did.
me, and I appreciate that. I guess they do. Anyhow.
That's right, Anders.
let's
We
go
are
before
bros
someone
to
else
the
rushes
close.
in to waggle a finger at us.
It's over. I am done.
Oh, there's a potent health recipe. Nice. Well, that's unfortunate, but at least we know they're not going to bother us anymore. So the flowers might actually be back out here with the maybe? Oh, you know what? I think they might be up by the maybe by the Chantry?
I can't believe the city guard isn't doing anything to help us.
Yeah, the city guard are super touchy. Like, you disrupt a smuggling ring for them, and they're appreciative, but then you get someone to open a single entryway to the tunnel that is useless now because the smugglers are all dead, and they start calling you, like, murderers and, you know, thieves and brigands. Zealots always the best representatives of any group, yeah.
With trade halted,
Those,
I can't get my silks from Denerim. It's just awful.
Yeah, those Templars, like, they were taking it personally. Well, now, where the hell do I get the flowers from? They're not in here, are they? Yeah, they are. Okay, flowers. And we steal them from the priestess. Didn't I grab some flowers earlier in the... when I got to the city? I can't remember now. But yeah, no, they definitely had a grudge against Anders. I was gonna say Alistair. It's getting late. So yeah, I can't remember if we actually do find his phylactery in this or not. Okay, so the flowers are on the doorstep. That might have been the last one. Okay, yep. Alright, so I think we've completed all the stuff there. Is there anything else left to do in Amaranthine? There is not, because it's not even showing up here anymore. Okay. So... oh yeah, I gotta talk to them. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna head back to the keep. Because I forgot to turn in a quest there. I also found some ore, so I don't know if I can give that to Wade or not. Because it like wasn't the source of the ore, it was just some ore. Right? Yeah, pure iron. Oh, it's not ore, it's pure iron, okay. Okay, and the wool padding. I guess what are the... oh, let's just go back. We'll just go and talk to Wade. Master Wade and Heron. Anders and Alistair have the same voice actor. Yeah, that's I guess that's true, isn't it? both look like brothers. To be fair, the amount of actual character models in Dragon Age Origins is pretty limited. Like, there are a lot of NPCs that look like Alistair in the game.
Forcing me. You're back. You need anything? Oh, of course.
Okay, nope, I guess not. But we'll sell some of this stuff off. Proves blood magic. Yeah, we're good. We are good there. What does this belt do? Plus 3 to dexterity? Nah. I mean, it's good. Like, not to say that's not good, but what I'm wearing is better.
The men are still clearing the rubble in the basement. They'll be finished soon.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't have to report back to her? Oh, okay. Just check back later. Never mind. I thought I forgot to...
Commander, just give me a moment.
Ooh, salvage operation. You must have heard that a supply ship bound for Vigil was wrecked on the reef. Our soldiers were able to rescue most survivors, but it seems likely that the supplies have been ruined. Okay, yeah, we'll try that one. So I think that might be the,
Allow me to say,
oh,
Lord Wolf, that you are a frightening force on the battlefield.
Is this a joke? I only let loose that time because I was surprised.
No, it was a compliment.
I don't get many of those.
I don't see why. Your skills are... Okay, yes. I think I do see why.
Okay, that was also perfect timing because of the NPC character that walked up just as he belched and then turned around, and that was like perfect comedic timing. Also, you could actually see that the walls are being rebuilt. Because those, like, the towers up there, like, they weren't around. Like, they were completely destroyed. So you can see progress.
Right you are, Warden. We'll get these walls rebuilt for you. Ho!
Jolly good. Let me just pop back into the keep so I can deposit some items. I'm getting into that, like, RPG...
Where is he? I know he's here.
Oh.
Cough him up, Warden.
Hey...
You're not gonna pull the moss over my eyes. Ogren, get your hairy ass down here.
Hang on to your beard, woman. Is this a conjugal visit? Looking for Ogren to grease the old wheel?
Don't lay a finger on me. You've done a lot of stupid things on a whim, but joining the Wardens...
Didn't you say it would be... hot?
We were role-playing.
Oh, Ogren. I'm not listening. La 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 la. Let's stay out of it.
Look, I didn't sign up on a whim, alright? You kicked me out.
You were just looking for an excuse.
You kept trying to make me into something I'm not. I can't play house like you want me to. I'm only good at one thing, Fells, and it's killing.
He's good at killing.
Always been good at killing. That and making absolutely nug-brain decisions. You had a good thing in the army. They respected you.
Felsie, I finally got the old conquer on straight, and I don't belong anywhere but here.
Fine, Ogren, if that's what you want. The baby and I will just have to get by without you.
Whoa, 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 what?
I just end up being hit. She's a tiny thing, but packs a surprising wallop. And in this mood, she'd go straight for my danglers. Come on, there's Darkspawn waiting to be killed.
Excuse me. Oh, okay, that caught me right in mid-drink. Ugh. Yeah, we don't want her to go for the danglers, do we?
You are gonna pay me, right? for all that arse whipping I do for you? A stipend. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, what's a stipend? Money. Now there's a word I understand. What an arrangement. You feed me and I get to take my frustrations out on the Darkspawn. Anyway, can I have a pony?
I bet you can't tell me what you just said.
Oh, everything's spinning. And you're very shiny. Oh, gonna go sit down now.
You know, I'm actually not the first Howe to be a Grey Warden.
You don't say.
Following in my grandfather's footsteps, more like. His name was Padric Howe. He joined the Order before it returned to Ferelden just after the war. Never contacted his family again. Just vanished. Now that I know about the joining, I think he died. I know that now. Father always said he was a horrible man for abandoning the family to join a pointless cause. I grew up ashamed of my grandfather. But now I see his bravery. That will take some getting used to.
A pointless cause. You literally can't defeat the Blight without the Wardens.
My father often forgot that nobility has another meaning. I told you that the bow you gave me was my grandfather's, didn't I? Thank you for that. At any rate, we should probably get back to it. There are Darkspawn to kill, I'll bet. Somewhere.
Oh yeah. So the one thing, like, even though you don't have, like, the gifts that can, like, super boost the character's approvals, the dialogue options really do a lot. Like, you can really go through pretty quickly. Because Anders is almost full. Ogren's was, like, closer to the red at the beginning of this, and now it's getting up there as well. So it doesn't take much.
May I point out that you're all right?
Thank you.
You're all right. Really, when the Templars came for me, you could have decided I wasn't worth the trouble. But I apparently am worth the trouble. Considering I'm usually a lot of trouble, I should be grateful. And I'm glad to be around. When you recruited me, I thought I was jumping from the frying pan into the fire.
Well,
being a warden is almost tolerable. It's a pleasant stroll through the park with Darkspawn.
I mean, that's very... coupled with an early death,
Nothing's
yes.
perfect. I thought it was worth mentioning. Thank you, Commander, for everything.
So he approved +9. Yeah, so his approval's already maxed out. Alright, it's personal storage. We'll store that bow. I'll keep the crossbow just in case I need them for something. I'll keep those because I think... There we go. So I can put that stuff on Anders.
Yes. Yes.
I will admit, I do get a little sad looking at the companion selection screen and knowing there's no Shale. Alright, so Anslem's Reef. We'll go there, retrieve some goods.
More enemies ahead! As you say.
So this is another map from Liliana's Song. Or I guess I shouldn't say it's from Liliana's Song, because I don't actually know the exact order that these came out in. By the time... Take that. By the time I got Origins, all the DLC was already out. Like Dragon Age 2, the demo for Dragon Age 2 was already out. And you could, like, download it and play it. So, I don't know the exact order they came out, but this map was in Liliana's song. Whether it appeared there first or it appeared here first and was reused, I don't know. But it was not a map used in Origins, like in the main Origins game. And up there is the bridge that we crossed when we went to rescue that woman that was kidnapped. Okay, that took a lot less time than I thought it was going to. We're just gonna go all decks. He's got, oh, he doesn't have that one yet, but I don't think he, yeah. Oh, 52 dexterity, huh. How far am I? A ways, okay. Where do we take those? Those goods go back to the keep, right? So Felsi, the mother of Ogren's child, showed up at Vigil's Keep, indignant that Ogren abandoned his familial responsibilities to join the Wardens. Ogren didn't want to talk about the encounter much, but he might... Okay. Huh. Oh. Okay, do I have the goods, or does that just technically go right back to the... Okay, so the goods just basically go right back to the keep. Good to know.
Right you are, Warden. We'll get these walls rebuilt for you.
Dirty little dwarf.
Commander, just give me a moment.
Okay, nothing there. Alright, cool. Let's just go back into the keep and just quickly see if I can talk to Ogren.
Ah! Who's there? I was just keeping my nose to the dust, you know, watching out for the Schliets. One of the lads here told me about the Schliets. Said they're common in Ferelden. They lie on the ground, looking like ordinary pairs of pants, until you turn around. That's when they strike.
Oh, those Schliets.
Right. You've heard of them.
Sure.
They eat your eyeballs. After they're done with you, they just wander off on their unnatural pant legs.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Best not to tell the others. Don't want to panic on our hands. Need something pummeled? Hey, I gotta thank you for saving my hide today. There was that guy, and he was all...
Oh, never mind.
And I was... But then I got hit by an arrow. And then I fell
At least it wasn't
over,
to your knee.
It was me, but you were there, and you were all... Raw. Spectaculous. I'm gonna drink to you, Commander. Here's to the...
Okay.
So, what about it, huh? Huh? I was thinking about my plan for a grand...
Okay, I guess I don't get to talk to him about the actual thing with his wife or girlfriend or his child.
Didn't seem impressed. Thing is, the Grey Wardens could use a snazzier image. Everyone thinks we're a grim stick-in-the-muds.
No, I don't think anyone's going to think that about you.
Ladies love them chariots. Oh, yes.
Mistress
Oh, wait, who are
Wolsey
you?
says I can set up shop here. The merchant you saved was grateful to be alive. Restocked me for a bargain. The savings are yours, of course. You need anything, Commander?
Yeah, let's see what you got. Storm Chaser mail. Okay, well, I should actually check and see what it is that Heron and Wade have. For armor, because the armor that I'm currently wearing... Oh, I do have the trade goods. Because the armor that I have is like the same one that I wore in Origins, and I'm sure there's got to be something better.
Yes.
Also, where the hell do I go to get the armor runes put in?
You're back. You needed... Oh, of course.
Okay. Dragon Bone. Ooh, what's this? Not much better for the armor. +2 armor, 10 resistance, nature, spirit, stamina regeneration. It's a lot of money for not much of an increase. Nope, I guess I'm still wearing the best armor that I can. Huh. Oh, what are Polder Gauntlets? 10% cold damage. Yeah, we'll take that one. Keeper's Boots. Better armor, better stuff all around. Yeah, we'll go with that. And we'll give him the cowl. Alright, so a lot of side quests. A lot of small stuff in this stream. But... Okay, so those are all locations I've been to before. Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do is I think we're actually gonna end it here, because there are 3 different places I can go to right now. I can go to the Wending Wood, I can go to the Black Marsh, or I can go to the Knotwood Hills. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe I don't know if I'm gonna put a poll up for it or not, but I'll sort of decide which one that I want to go to. I know, like, the Black Marsh and the Knotwood Hills, for sure, will net me a new party member. So I might do one of those first. I might actually do the hills first. But I also have a lot of quests in the Wending Wood, so... No, you know what, we're going to do the Wending Wood, so we'll travel there, and then, yeah, we'll travel there. Watch this cutscene, I guess, because I forgot there was a cutscene. Alright, yeah. Okay, right, the caravan. Okay, so yeah, so I think we're going to end it here. We are closing in on 3 hours 51 minutes, so that's pretty close to the 4-hour mark. So I'm just going to save it. And we are going to save over the city of Amaranthine, because basically what I'm gonna need to do, because I want to have like one or the other of those quest lines available to me in Amaranthine. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go, as I'm not gonna talk to the other guy, and I'm gonna keep the guards on my side. But so I'll try to make sure that I end up roughly around here to start the next stream. But what do we got here? So Wendingwood is at 3:48. So yeah, I got about an hour and 20 minutes or so that I'm gonna have to redo. So it kind of sucks. Like I would have done more story-based stuff had I not screwed up earlier. But at least we got some things done. We had some fun. There was some cool stuff with like the Blight Orphans and with Ogren and his manners. So yeah, so we'll jump back into it next week, and hopefully things will go a little bit smoother for us. So I just want to thank everyone that's popped in during the stream. Sword Talon 1, as always, it's awesome to have you along. Zalamax, or Zalamix, MX. I butchered that, I know, and I'm sorry. But it's great to have you here as well, and of course, Roll Stats, you know, a great friend and a great guy. And anybody else who popped in, even if it was just for a few seconds, to see what was going on. And of course, anyone who watches this on YouTube after I re-upload it there. So, yeah, again, I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Actually, so speaking of next time, so this Friday night coming up, I will be getting back into Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, so that'll be taking place on Friday night stream. I've missed the last few weeks just because we were away or there was stuff going on, but we will be doing that again on Friday night. I can't wait to get back into that one because I really enjoy that game. And on Monday, we will be starting Resident Evil 2, a game that I'm basically playing through completely blind for the first time, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, so thanks a lot, everyone. I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Take care.